Hello, welcome back to another episode of Podcast 572. As always, I'm your host, Kyle, joined by my two friends, Dan and Matt. I've accomplished some stuff in the last 2 weeks. I've beaten and finished Death Stranding 2.
So proud of you.
I have not. I mean, I didn't do every order in the game or anything, but I really made a beeline to get through the rest of that game. And I if you want to see a full video review, I put a video review of it out because I captured a lot of footage of that game as I was playing it. That game also
How much feet footage?
Feet footage? Not enough for Kojima. Is what I would tell you. I not to get into the feet part of that, but I laugh that there is a whole focus on Ellie Fanning's character constantly taking her shoes off in that game. Since you mentioned that,
that's what he does, man. That's what he does.
It doesn't spoil anything about the game, but she can go in and out of the black goop. This is the best way I can describe this. But she's gonna go for that when she takes her shoes off. It's if the shoes are coming off, it's oh shit, things are about to go down. Because there's a couple times she fights Troy Baker's villain character in that game, Higgs. So, but every time the shoes come off, oh shit, people are gonna get fucked up. I put it in my review, and I'll say it here. I don't give out and I wouldn't score games at a 10 lightly. I never do, but I gave it a 10, and I do think it's a masterpiece. It does. Again, is any game perfect? No game is perfect, but I think the best thing I could say, again, coming away from it is somebody I'd like to know, because Kojima should get an award for the game, but whoever sat next to him and focused this entire experience and was okay, what if we do this? What if we cut these edges here and smooth this out, smooth that out, should also get an award, because it's still batshit crazy, especially the end. There's things that happen. I don't even know how to describe things if I wanted to, that happened at the end of that game. But it's the most focused Kojima game I think he's ever made. It's also you look at Kojima and he's made tactical espionage games forever. This is not that. Neither was the first Death Stranding. This is at the end of this. This is a very emotional game. My only one little gripe outside of a few things here or there would be that I won't say who the character is because it's spoiled part of the game, but there's a specific person that was cast in this game, and when they were cast in the game, I was it's probably going to be this person, and that's what ends up happening. And that was kind of it's kind of very, very easy to put that together. But at the same time, the game is about getting to that point and how you get to that point for that reveal. It ends in a way where could you make a third Death Stranding game? Sure, but it doesn't need to. This could be the end of this story, and I would be 100% fine with it.
I bet you it probably is. I think it is. He's got other stuff to do.
It comes full circle on what it was setting up in the first game. But again, everything that you think of when I say rough edges, I had forgotten there is a part. And if you play the first game anytime soon, you'll see this. This game does have the same thing going on as the first game, where it's it gives you little pieces of the story as you play through the game. And there's a lengthy cutscene here or there. But when you get to the very end of the game, it is very lengthy cutscene stuff. But I will say, it's not as ridiculous as the first game. There's this sequence at the end of the first game where you're walking on a beach, and that goes on for like 90 minutes. And it is
typical Kojima
long.
Stuff. Yeah.
There's nothing like that in this game. So, and that's what I mean by like rough edges that were just kind of smoothed out of the experience. So it is an incredible game though. Like there's some really, there's like I said before, not to get into the story because it'll spoil things, but like there's some real dark things that I think a lot of video game creators story wise probably wouldn't touch that he goes into in this game. But it is from beginning to end. It's just an excellent experience. And I wouldn't say it's light years ahead of the first one, but like I said, it's just a more refined and better game. But obviously you need to play the first one to play and enjoy the second one. So it's not like you're going to just jump to Death Stranding 2. But I think whenever you decide to sit down and play the first one, play the second one, you'll see right away, like, oh shit, right. Like this is a lot smoother and a lot better. And again, like also like from a technical standpoint, it's easily probably the best PS5 game that I've played this generation in terms of like visuals. And I never saw any kind of frame rate issues. The game loads immediately when you hit continue. Like there's no load times in this game. It's insane. So, but it like I said, it does that same thing that the first one does, where like you're gonna get into a group. Like if you get into the delivery part of the game and the gameplay, you'll get addicted to that if you like that. And you start getting into a groove of like, okay, I want to do another delivery. And then all of a sudden it just hits a point where like, I'd say you've maybe uncovered about 60% of Australia. And all of a sudden it's just like, okay, well, we're going to go do the final one of these. And I was like, there's a lot of this map left, but okay. And it kind of sets you up for like a really, really big finale, like final mission. And then after that, I would say there's like the epilogue with the big boss battle, where I think the one other complaint I'd say is like Kojima is obviously really known for creating insane boss battles. Like he's the guy that gave us Psycho Mantis, The End, like all these different very memorable and creative boss battles. Both of these games kind of suffer from not really having that, except for the final battle with the main villain, especially in this one. So it is very Kojima and very over the top and very, very weird. Like I said, I don't think I could describe to you what happens at the end of that game in terms of what's happening with that boss battle. So but it is crazy and an excellent experience. I don't think anybody should miss. So, but again, if you haven't played the first Death Stranding, obviously play that first. So, so I finished that. That was my big thing. I got that done. Whatever. Like I said, my fiance, she's been off on vacation the last 2 weeks, so I haven't had a lot of time to play a lot. That was kind of my big thing. But I did have one afternoon where I got to start Mafia: The Old Country. So I played about 3 to 4 hours of that. Like I'm through the intro of that game. Also really good so far. The game visually looks really good. Again, this and the thing I'll point out about this game is it's a $50 game. So it's a budget, what we're going to refer to as a budget title. But I wouldn't say it lacks anything being a budget title in terms of like how the game looks or runs or performs. It's very well voice acted as well. None of the voice actors in the game are like recognizable voice actors in the video game industry because of where it takes place. But it looks great. The story setup for how you're getting into the mafia over in Sicily is very interesting because you start the game in you basically you start the game, you're in a mine shaft with your buddy, and you're kind of like on like I guess I would say maybe like a prison line, but you're not really in prison. It's more of like you're working off a debt for one of these mafia families. And some stuff happens, I won't say what, but some stuff happens where you, let's say, free yourself from that captivity, and you end up crossing the border to another family's territory. And so what happens is the guy that runs that encampment and some of his goons comes and finds where you are. They're going to try and take you back to the encampment, and the Don of this other family shows up and is just like, you're not going to do this because you're on my property, and kicks them off, and then takes you in under his wing, and now you're working for him. So that's the setup of the game. It also, like, it's crazy to say this in 2025, but this game has like a romance. Like an actual like romance between you and the Don's daughter, which is kind of crazy. So that's something you see in video games very often, unless you're going for like, I don't know, like a dating simulator or something these days. But that's a big aspect of this game, and I feel like it's going to be a Romeo and Juliet type of thing,
sure,
when it's all said and done. But still interesting. So the other thing that they've really improved, and they make a big point, because again, this game's set a lot further in the past than the other Mafia games, but they've overhauled the combat, specifically hand to hand, and it's all about knife combat in this game. And they do a really good job of like teaching you the different tricks. You can like, it's very like upfront when you're going through the tutorial of like the first couple parts of the game. You can pick like different types of knives. Like I picked a butterfly knife, and then you train with this other guy, but it has like a completely overhauled combat system. In terms of like the knife play, I haven't picked up a gun in the game yet. That apparently comes later, but it's more about knife combat, which is kind of interesting, but it works really well. And also it's not an open world game. It's kind of like what I'd say like a semi open world, which is perfectly fine for Mafia, because I think after the first one and maybe the second one, they kind of learned like the open world part of this doesn't really work very well. But I'll say, like, it took me a while, and I think you and I talked about it the last time we talked about Mafia, but like they haven't made a new Mafia since 2016. Right. And that game had an amazing like story idea.
It had a lot of stuff going for it, and
it just fell into a very bad trap of side objectives that nobody cares about. Right. And I think, at least from the little bit I've played and what's been kind of uncovered so far in this game, I feel like making it not a fully open world game is going to save that.
Well, if that franchise wants to focus more on like telling stories and stuff, I think that's a better option.
I do too.
If you think about it now, I think Mafia 3 probably would have benefited a lot from
100%. Because that story set for that game was amazing.
It had really good set pieces, like the beginning part where you just have to get away.
Yeah.
Going to like that abandoned like amusement park thing with like the gators and stuff. Like it had really good set pieces, but everything in between, it was just the game wasn't paced well enough for me to want to do any of it.
No,
which is a bummer because I really liked almost everything else about it. But
yeah, this seems a lot more focused and a lot more well paced. So at least I've only played 4 hours. So, but that is the next like big game on the docket. And then I'm very interested and intrigued in this Hell Is Us game. I know we've seen trailers and stuff for it. They put a demo up for it. So I decided to briefly look at the demo for that, which actually I will say, like, PS5 Pro is starting to get games that actually take advantage of the system. So this game specifically, and it's just a demo for it, but like really takes advantage of the Pro. A lot of options and settings and stuff you can do. But the thing that kind of threw me when I started the demo is it comes up with text on the screen that literally says, we're not going to hold your hand. We're not going to tell you anything of what to do in this game. You just basically have to pay attention. So I find that really intriguing because you have to learn everything through conversations and where to go. There's no arrows or HUD maps or anything like that. You just have to figure it out. It seems really cool and ambitious. I don't think it's going to sell very well because for me,
you don't even think it like appeals to like Dark Souls kids or anything like that.
Elden Ring kids. It doesn't feel like a Dark Souls game. It feels like you know what it feels like to me? Kingdoms of Amalur.
Okay.
Just in a completely different setting. But that's what it felt like to me, the little bit that I played of it, except, again, no guidance. Like, Kingdoms of Amalur, if you remember, like, they were very heavy on showing you where you needed to go and what you need to do in that game. This is a complete opposite of that. But I played a little bit of the demo, and then I decided, like, I don't want to play any more of the demo because I just want to play the game. But it's something I'm going to wait for Black Friday. I know it's not going to sell as well as they probably think it is, and it'll be half the price that it should be Black Friday. The only other thing that I played, I'll lead in to you here in a moment, but I will go up. I got 2 interesting pickups I want to talk about, and then we'll talk about the last thing because you played it as well.
Yeah,
played it together. So I'll show this first. This is just more of I woke up one day, it happened to be on sale on Amazon finally at a good price, but this is the Thing Deluxe Edition that has the steelbook.
Yeah.
Was down to like 30. So I finally took I think it normally is 50.
That's a good dive too. We've talked about that game.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
I like that game a lot. Yeah, the steelbook is really cool.
Let's talk about the crazier one. Dan, you both know about this because I talked to you guys about this. So I'll tell the story about how this came to be, but I have in my hand here, and I did not know this was as rare as it is.
When you showed me, I was like, oh shit.
But I now am the proud owner of a very rare new Nintendo 3DS XL that apparently the kids want, which is this Metroid one.
Yeah.
Which,
barely used too, right?
Barely used. So the story is my fiance and her mom went to if people listen to this or watch this know who Nostalgia Critic is. When the movie It came, this is how long ago this was. When the first part of It came out, they had kind of like a premiere for his review video of it closer into the city of Chicago. And so they went, and one of the things that they had going on at this thing was they had a raffle, and her mom won this along with the game that's currently in there, which is Donkey Kong Country 3D, Donkey Country Returns 3D, and then Smash Brothers, and I forget what the third game was. I got all those.
Did you not get the Metroid game? Was that not out yet?
So I also have Metroid. She actually gave that to me a while ago, so that's been in my collection for a while. But the crazy thing is that came with a physical copy of that Metroid game. Think about that, 2017. Yeah. So, but anyways, the other day she just was like looking through stuff because she's in the process of cleaning stuff up around the house, and she was just like, Kyle can just have this or whatever. And, he could put it in his collection. And like I said, after that, I went to just go log it in on the Game My app. And that's when I sent you that picture of like.
The minute you sent me the picture, I told you. I told you. I was like, oh, that's like one of the ones the kids want that one. They want the Super Nintendo looking one.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Which I should have bought at the time, but I still maintain it looks stupid. It doesn't look like what it should look like.
This is cool because of the design is very
the color
minimalistic.
Is great.
That's a nice one.
But it has the color, the gold back.
Well, and then the first thing I told you was like, we need to find you one of those cool stands.
Yeah, like the coolest stand that I found and it's awesome. It was on Etsy. And it's like 3D printed, looks beautiful and everything, but I'd have to get it from Portugal.
I think the problem is like... A, he's like the only guy doing them right now.
Mm-hmm.
And B, the one that I knew was doing them literally just shut down
there's a company.
Mm-hmm. Which I've been following that guy for years. Like his stuff has always been awesome, but like it was always over. I don't want, maybe not overpriced, but pricey.
Expensive for what it is.
But for like display purposes, it was great. But like now it's like, well, shit, if only he was around a couple months longer. Because he makes
it's going to go on the shelf behind me. And like I got to take the battery out of it here.
Take the battery.
I don't want to leave the battery in there. Because I already have, I have a 3DS.
Yeah, and you're not going to go through the process of like transferring stuff and all that. No, what's the point? I would get a cool stand.
I got my primary one, and so it's just going to be a display thing, but it's a cool thing to have because I just
was super nice the way you got
I didn't even
too.
No, it's like when they got it, like she played a little bit of Donkey Kong, and I don't think they played Smash Brothers. I'm trying to remember. I think the Mario Sports was the other game. I don't think she played Metroid either, but I think the only game she really played was Donkey Kong. So, but that was it. And then it's literally just sat on a shelf for the last like 7 years or whatever it's been. So, and by the way, off. So
all the more, reason to get the battery out.
No, exactly. So, but it booted right up, like I said, and it's I have she's looking to see if she has the box. She's not sure if she has a box, that's going to be even more amazing. Yeah. So. But
then if she has the box, then you just box the whole thing up and get one of those like hard plastic things.
That's what I'll do. Yeah. So, but a very cool, like unexpected, last weekend or whatever kind of a thing. I was like, oh, okay. But a cool thing to add to my collection for sure. So, the last thing, and it'll lead into you played it as well. We played some of it together, but the Battlefield 6 beta, which we played like a couple. I think we played like 2 or 3 matches. It's Battlefield. Like it's fine.
There's nothing real big about it.
I just wanted to get a feel for it and remember.
I want to get a feel for it because I haven't played a Battlefield since 4, and that's been like over a decade. And the thing that I was kind of bummed, and like I know that the beta had like one of those big maps where you can get into vehicles and all that. We didn't get to play one of those maps, unfortunately. So I think maybe I would have had a better, I don't want to say better experience, but maybe I would have enjoyed it more than I did. But it's Battlefield.
Those are more fun for sure. Like when we got into that one match, I was just kind of fucking around, seeing like what you could do.
I was too. Yeah.
Like I was pulling my rocket launcher and firing down hallways and stuff. Like I could really care less. Yeah. But I mean that game it plays really well. It's like looks incredible. Sounds great. Like it feels good. Like shooting a gun feels correct. The destruction stuff was good. Like it's just, I think that game's going to do really well in an era where Call of Duty is becoming a joke of itself.
It is
like to have the opposite side of it. It's almost like there is room for both now.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, when I played it this week, I played it with a couple of people from work, and they both were pretty adamant that they were buying it when it does actually drop, and they're like going to put time into it and stuff like that. Like I enjoyed what I played of it, but to me, it felt like another Call of Duty, and I'm not feeling those right now. So
I think that'll be a good game to pick up because it's an EA game. It'll be $30 at some point, pretty quick.
By Friday, it'll probably be at least 40.
It'll probably be like 50, and it'll be 30 at some point. And the important thing is like it's not like they're making Battlefield 7 next year. Like
that's the other thing that to point out, at least for Battlefield, it's not an annual franchise. So
I don't think they would ever go back to being an annual franchise. No. This game would have to sell like 40 million copies, and then for them to be like, okay, in 2 years we'll put out.
I don't think EA is in a position to do that at this, like not anymore. In today's day and age.
The only thing they really sold last year was college football.
Yeah,
and that's about it.
I don't think this year's probably sold as well as last year's.
I haven't seen any numbers or anything on it, but I haven't heard anywhere near as much about it as last year's. But
that wraps me up, so we can move over to you.
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't played too many like important things. I'm still on this like trophy contest thing that I'm doing. So I started. I don't know if I talked about it last time, but I started Lego Marvel, and I've been plowing through that.
You originally played that when it came out.
I did. I got 1,000 on that way back when it first launched. I'm pretty sure I bought that at release and did it all then.
That was around the launch of the PS4 to Xbox One, wasn't it? Around that time?
It's on 360, so it's got to be.
It's got to be then.
Yeah. I don't know. I actually tend to like this one more than the Superheroes 2 or the Avengers or any of those other ones. I think this is the best one of these. But I'm finally at the final part where I'm just doing the slog of getting every mini kit and all that kind of crap. So I'm working on that, almost done. Cuisinier game I'm actually almost finished with.
Okay.
Because it does have like a story. I don't know if I ever told you that, but it has like a story you're supposed to follow where as you work your way through the restaurant, you eventually unlock like new places to go to get ingredients to fight more stuff. And then, so what I'm in now is kind of like the tournament at the end of the game where it combines them together. So basically you're in like this arena and you're competing against someone else and you have to cook and serve judges. But to get your ingredients, you have to go into one of the 4 areas, fight everything, get the stuff, bring it back, then cook. It's all on like a timer.
Is it super challenging?
It's hectic. It's not, I wouldn't say it's super challenging, but it can get pretty crazy. Like I just finished the 3rd round and there's like 4 total. And the 3rd round introduces, every time you go into one of these areas to get ingredients, it introduces the bosses again. And on a 15-minute timer, it can be a little rough because you really have to finish like 3 areas to have enough stuff to be able to maybe win. Because it's kind of random in terms of like what dishes they're going to request. Yeah. But it's not overly hard. It's really fast paced, which is fun. Okay. And then, you can still run the restaurant, but I've done every other quest. I have every other recipe. Like I'm kind of winding down on the game, but I think it's actually been pretty fun in terms of like those kind of like sim run a thing, with the mixture of like it's kind of a dungeon crawler. It's shockingly
it's sitting
worse.
right under my Slitter head thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You did get
pile.
it too. Yeah.
I haven't. So at some point I'll open it.
Yeah, it's just a fun like mess around game where you don't have to think too much. I have to upgrade the restaurant, I think, one more time, but I have to go get more materials to do that.
Mm.
And I think I have to upgrade some more equipment to get my. I don't even think I need to do that, to be fair. But so that's almost done. That's a good game to like be done with and finish. And the platinum isn't difficult. It's just really just do as much as you can.
Yeah.
What else did I play? I played War of the Monsters, the old PS2 game for PS4 and PS5. I remember liking that when it was on PS2. I do not like it now. I think it's bad. It has interesting qualities. Like the arenas are destructible. Like you can actually knock buildings down. But the controls are a fucking mess.
Mm-hmm.
It works on like a forward and backward, but left and right is strafe mechanic. Which also is accompanied by you have to hold L1 and R1 to lock on to mash buttons. And like jumping is kind of weird. Double jumping requires energy, which you can run out of. The enemies will run away and look for health, which is annoying. As like a single player game, enemies shouldn't go look for health, man. It should just be maybe they have more health to start, but they shouldn't be actively farming, healing themselves like half the way down. The boss fights are broken and unbalanced compared to everything else you do in the game. It's just frustrating. There's a stupid one where you're fighting this like robot, and halfway through, he starts like you blow up part of him, and he turns into something else, and he starts spinning around, and it's hard to get away from. And then the game gives you this tip of like, oh, jump onto these pillars in the middle of the arena, and he can't hit you when he's like rolling around. Yeah, except he can destroy the pillars. So if you stand on the pillar, he just destroys it, and then you can't stand on the pillar anymore. It's just it's stupid. I plowed my way through the story mode. It's forgettable. I randomly picked whatever the first monster you could pick is. So I played as a giant praying mantis the whole time. He was fine. Again, I did this mainly for trophies and mainly to kind of see if it was good as I remember it was. I think it's very much a game of its time. Yeah. It's very much a 2000.
That's like.
What would that have been? 4?
I didn't put it on the list, but I went and decided to try the PS2 to PS4 and PS5 Max Payne 1.
Ooh.
That is a very bad version of the original Max Payne. Yeah, like, if you're going to play that, just play it on PC.
These games are some of them are rough when you play like the PS4 version of them.
I played Max Payne 1 and 2 on PC when they came out that way. So,
oh, wow. So you never knew.
Max Payne 1 was a game that somebody I knew at the time got a copy of it and then burned a bunch of copies of it. And we passed it around and played. There was like a weird era in the early 2000s where like you could do that.
Right.
Very easily with a lot of PC games. I remember doing that with GTA 3.
I did it a ton in junior high.
Yeah, exactly.
Cracked versions of things.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I did it for Max Payne 1. I think Max Payne 2 I did go out and buy.
I had a cracked version of the GTA demo on PC because after a while it would, because what that game actually was like the full game. But the demo would kill you after like 15 minutes. Okay. You had like a bomb in your chest and you'd blow up. The crack just turned the timer off.
The thing that was crazy to me with GTA, and you could do this with any of those ports of those GTA from that era on PC, but you could just go in, like put a file in the game and just throw your own MP3s in there and play them on the radio. Mm-hmm. And that was mind-blowing.
People forget. I think if you really never like played physical PC games back in the day with like the the way they just installed, because remember, there were no like internet checks for this kind of stuff.
No, there wasn't
The
anything.
amount of shit you could fuck around with if you knew what you were looking for was nuts.
I should go through, because the box is in the closet over here of my physical PC games from that era. And then one of the things in that box is like a little CD spinner thing that has just like a bunch of games that were burned in that era too. So
that was a big thing, like that. And you know, the first time I ever played Final Fantasy VII was on PC.
Yeah. I remember.
And then it stopped working on disc 3, so I went out and bought a PS1 copy and started the whole game over.
One of the first PC games I bought was No One Lives Forever.
Great game.
And I have both on PC.
That's a great game. I wonder if that holds up.
I bet you it probably would be okay on
parts
PC.
Of it too.
Yeah. I wonder, that's a game. I wonder, you know, like, they ask all the time, like Night Dive Studios, people that did this thing, they ask all the time. I wonder why people never ask for that.
I bet you they do.
I bet licensing.
Wasn't it EA?
No.
Or they did. I thought EA did, because there's a PS2 port of that game.
There is a PS2 port of that game, because I remember later on renting that version of it.
It's different.
And it was not a great version.
No. Who owns that?
I'm looking. A Spy in Harm's Way.
It's only $62 on Amazon. Sierra and Fox Interactive.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Wow. Just seeing this box art brings me back.
It looks interesting.
The second game was in 2002.
Did you never play it, man? It's actually pretty good.
No, I've never played that one. I don't think I've ever even seen the box art for that one.
It's very much like a mix of like Bond and like kind of Austin Powers-ish humor a little bit.
It's like 70s spy stuff.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Bond, I would... Maybe like small elements of like a Hitman kind of a thing.
I did never play the Contract Jack spinoff game, though.
I don't even know what that is.
That was a spinoff of 2. That was the last thing they made. Yeah, her name was Kate Archer.
God, who owns this now?
I'd be very curious. Oh, you know why it probably won't happen? It was developed by Monolith, which no longer exists.
That'll do it.
Yeah. So
I bet you the music part of it is a shit show.
It probably has to be. So that's a lot, and that's the problem with the like company like that, like Night Dive, who wants to do that, is the licensing has to be just a fucking nightmare.
I'm looking at here's a great thing. In May 2014, Night Dive filed a trademark for No One Lives Forever. They had also been able to acquire source code for the games, which enabled them to remaster them, but nobody knows who owns it.
Interesting.
So it's something they're sitting on.
Night Dive was made optimistic about a remaster following the closure of Monolith in March of 25. So, if anything, they're trying, but it definitely seems like
I would love to see it.
Nobody knows who owns that.
Because they just finally did.
But in the meantime, let's just go buy copies of the PS2 game.
Yeah.
They just did Hexen and I forget the other one. It's in that like double pack that just came out. I got to look at that. So at some point I will.
All right.
But
so anyway, I played War of the Monsters. It is a game.
There you go.
Never played again.
Then you played what I'd call a game of games.
Yeah, and then the last thing is a buddy of mine. We're just working through random co-op stuff. So Resident Evil 5 came up. I'm just playing on normal to get back into it, and reminding myself of how that game plays, because remember the walking and shooting, which is rough to even when you know it's rough.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the heyday of like doing really good runs of that mercenary mode in that game.
Well, especially because like the gameplay loop in like
get used to
action scenes is really just like shoot him in the knee, kick him in the face, shoot him in the knee, kick him in the face.
You get into that groove very well,
which is good, and it's like one of my favorite parts of the game. I wish there would have been. That game needs just melee combat.
Or the combo moves.
Yeah, or the combo stuff. Those are great
combo moves are amazing.
Yeah, so fun. Yeah, so like we're having fun playing through that. We'll probably do 6 after, just because I hate myself.
Man, I don't know.
I haven't seen the T-Rex in forever, Kyle. Since probably the day that game came out, I have not seen the T-Rex. So.
It probably runs a little better.
When the fuck did that game come out? 2007? No,
2012. No, Resident Evil 9 or sorry, Resident Evil 6 is 2012.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it is. Look it up.
Really?
I'll blow your mind with something else.
I'll choose to believe
check me right now.
I'll choose to
you
believe.
can fact check me right now online because we've talked about this. It was originally scheduled to come out November 20th of 2012, and it got pushed up to October 2nd.
I was at the store, so yes, it was. It must have been okay.
So I remember that because I have that problem.
Because I remember we had a midnight for it.
Yes, we did. I was there,
and I think we still had the TV.
I think so. I think the
TV
was still the TV. I believe was into when I started at the store in 2013. It was shortly after that when it was taken from us.
When it was stolen from me.
Stolen.
So short story is we had my store when I took it over for some reason. I guess because it was a bigger store, especially like in the front. They must have had a Connect setup at some point with like a shelf and a TV and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And the TV was when I took over the store and I was going through everything trying to find stuff. I found like this just giant flat screen TV that could stand up on its own. So anytime we had a midnight, we would bust it out and put it on the counter behind us and hook up a 360 or whatever and just put in whatever game it was and let people fuck around.
I can tell you what midnight event it was where it was stolen.
I must have not been there.
Last of Us. It was taken to the other store in the town next to us because they were going to quote unquote use it for the event. And then after that, it just never came back to us. So
I must have not been a part of that because I would have told them no way.
I don't think you were at the time because I remember it was also a last minute thing. Like I wasn't going to go to the midnight. And then our other buddy who worked with us at the time was like, I'm going to go to the other midnight at the other store because I remember seeing the TV there. And then I was like, why are we even... I don't remember why we went to that midnight. And then when we were up there, he was like, oh, I'm going to get my game here, by the way. And I was mad because I had to wait till the next day.
Wow. There must have been some reason for that, but there's no way I would have willingly let that TV go.
It was an agreement. And it wasn't like... I'll say this. It wasn't the person that told you about like lending it that came and got it. It was the manager of that store that came and got it.
I'm sure it was, but like,
which we're not going to go through what manager that was, but you know what one it was.
That guy sucks.
Yes.
And then last thing I have I don't have many pickups, but I just have a pretty cool one that a buddy of mine found for me at a store he was visiting, which is this is an old like Atari copy of Spider-Man. Which,
very, very
not
cool.
a good game by any means, but the box art I think the box art is great. So
yeah, it is.
And it was like 20 something. I was like, yeah, just grab it. I don't even care if that's too much for it. It's like I just want it for the shelf because I like the box. That's it.
How about you, Matt?
I am still tackling Elden Ring Night Rain. Ironically, I still really enjoy that game. I've been spending a lot of this week watching like YouTube builds and like how people have been playing that game because like I think while I have enjoyed it, I don't think I've been playing it right. So I went back through the character that I like to play as and I like reset some of his like talismans and like relics I put on him and stuff like that. So hopefully after we record this, I might actually try to do a run to see how he operates. Kind of go from there. Yeah. And then, I decided to take it upon myself to play Sons of the Forest.
I should go back to that.
I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's play this instead of the Forest and like kind of just try to see what we can do. That game has been kicking my ass. Like, I didn't know how crazy that game can get. And like, I got stuck at one part because I don't even know what this is, man. It was like some cannibalistic creature thing that instead of arms had fucking feet. It had like 6 feet coming out of its body. Yeah. And it was like literally like chasing my ass around. So I finally had to create like a sticky bomb and I threw it on him and I just kept running away from him and just kept chucking it at him.
The enemies in that game are pure nightmare fuel.
They are horrifying. Like bad.
I remember that from the original one as well. So
yeah. So
and the way they just kind of show up out of nowhere and it's like, oh no, shit's about to get bad here. Like,
and what makes it worse is like if you find it's like, of course they have like the ones that are easier to beat, the ones that like crawl around and all that shit. Those are fine to deal with. You know, they're kind of a nuisance, but they run away from you because they don't want no smoke. And I'm cool with that. But man, once you see that big burly dude start walking out of the forest, it's like all bets are off because he is followed by two other people who like are in it. They're like, you're dead. Like, we are coming for you. And like they don't stop until either like you're able to get away and like, you know, rest. So like the night resets and then or you just have to fucking go at them and fight them and like trick them into like drowning themselves and stuff like that. I will say that I have been lucky as far as trying to catch them off guard and like leading them into like water so that they drown themselves. I kind of upper hand on them. And I did find a golf cart.
Okay.
And that thing has been awesome. Like I literally just like drive past them and then I do a loop and I come back like barreling through them and like just like it explodes their bodies as you drive through them. So it's been a benefit. I'm at like night 12, but I've been trying to put a lot of my time into building a camp because like I want to have like a centralized location where I know I can always run to no matter where I'm at on the map.
Well, you can also skip the night portion once you have things set up.
Yeah,
in a way, and you know that's very essential at a certain point in the game.
Very, man, because that nighttime is like the worst time because
terrifying.
It's pitch black. And and I've realized even if you have like a torch or like a light of any sort, you can barely see 3 steps ahead of you. Like, there's like nothing that helps you when nighttime comes. So, and then the guy that they got, I think his name is Kyle, actually.
The robot, android thing,
There's two of them on the island. There, I think there's Kyle and Victoria. I haven't found Victoria yet, but Kyle's kind of dumb. No offense.
He's not. He's dumb. I know. I remember from when we originally played, like when the game first came out. He's not too bright.
I'm like homeboy. And one of the things I keep telling him is I'll like set up like I'll start a build on something, and I'm like, hey, go ahead and finish the build while I'll work on something else. And he does like 2 things, and then he sits down in the chair and just chills. And I'm like, that is not what the fuck I said, dog. Like I said, do something. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. That's been taking out a lot of my energy. And then I started RoboCop. I got
RoboCop. Great.
It's solid. Yeah, it's a good first person shooter. I got to where am I? I think I'm on like the 3rd mission right now.
Okay.
So
surprisingly lengthy game.
Yeah. So I mean, I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. Still playing Royal Kingdom. Like the mobile game, it's still fun and just something to kind of take the time away. And then, the Battlefield 6 beta when it dropped was fun, but that's really it. That's all that I've tackled this week. So I'm going to hope to spend the next week on Night Rain and Sons of the Forest so I can at least try to knock one of those off of the. I mean, I know you really can't, but at least play as much as I can so I can kind of like feel better about my purchases.
Well, we can kick over to news. A little bit more lively than it's been in the last like couple weeks here because we had the Gamescom stuff happen. So we'll kick it off going through that. We have an email actually on it. Brendan from Bloomington, Illinois. Hi guys. Curious what you all thought of Opening Night Live. I know you were all pretty down on most of the Summer Games Fest presentation. Did this one do anything better? My picks were Resident Evil 9 and that amazing Lego Batman trailer. Really cool to see that back considering we'll never get another good Arkham game. Probably not. Probably won't get another one. So yeah, we can go through. I don't think any of us watched Opening Night Live because it was at a really good. It was like
watch it live
noon, whatever day it was. Yeah,
I had a friend like texting me updates during the whole thing, and
and I'll be honest, I don't know if these announcements are in any kind of order, so because I didn't watch the show, but we'll go through kind of the bigger ones. I'm just gonna say they're making a sequel to Black Myth Wukong. I'm not gonna try and butcher the subtitle of it. But they're making that. Obviously, Black Myth Wukong was very successful.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at some point I should go back and give that another shot. I don't know. I couldn't get into it. Resident Evil 9 was there, had a new trailer showcasing whatever the stalker
monster
enemy is in this one. Yeah, and I don't think it's throughout the entire game. It's whatever this
Probably
early
not.
sequence
that
is.
seems to be like the tease they always do.
Pretty terrifying looking.
Things fucked up. Yeah.
I'm more into this one though, because like remember 8 was Lady D and like she wasn't scary in any way, you know.
No,
so
she was more like threatening and
this
is more
just
like
terrifying, crawling on the walls. Like
huge.
I'm very into it.
Yeah,
I'm very into Resident Evil 9. I like the story and I like them of all the directions they could have gone. And I know like this game is supposed to tie everything into a big circle and everything going back to Raccoon City, but of all the things they could have pulled, from pulling a character from one of the Outbreak games and then giving them a daughter, I think is
crazy.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I love
crazy, but fantastic, because nobody would have ever guessed that they were going to do that. They showed some more Ghosts of Yotai. That's out in October, and they announced that it's going to get the Legends mode is free DLC in 2026, which is the cooperative mode that was in the first game. I'm not even going to talk about World of Tanks because who cares? This one I laughed at. I did not watch the trailer, but I feel like I don't even think the article here says when, but this was a couple years ago, that John Carpenter's Toxic Commando game. Do you remember when they showed that? It was like 4 or 5 years ago, I feel like. It hasn't been shown since. It's like a co-op weird. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I still don't. They showed that. It's supposed to be an early 2026 launch. Project Spectrum, which was another horror game that they showed, kind of has like a fear element to it, is what it looks like, is like the fear games, which is kind of cool. Another one they showed, and again, like I said, I for this showcase, like I didn't watch like a rebroadcast. I literally just picked the trailers that looked interesting to me, and I watched those.
The main reason I didn't even bother to rewatch is because a lot of people I talked to about it basically just said it's just the same shit again, because it's just it's all ads, it's all people who pay to show up, it's all it's what all of these shows are now that aren't directs. Directs are the only things that are worth it anymore. This is just a 2-hour ad for indie games and occasionally a big release kind of a thing. So I don't need to watch this.
Yeah, so some of these I'll kind of skip over quickly here, but there's indie game called Everwind. There's a DLC coming for Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb was very popular. There is World of Warcraft. The latest expansion called Midnight that's coming out. They showed they did the big cinematic they always do for those games. Age of Empires 4 is coming to PS5 because of course everything Microsoft's coming there.
All games are PS games, yes.
All games are PlayStation games. Another survival adventure. Again, we get into this territory of DLCs and the commercials and stuff like that. So Enshrouded is getting some sort of update. What is Cinder's something called Cinder City? I think it's another one of those MMO free to play NC Soft. Some of these I'm just gonna skip over because they're literally free to play games. Moonlighter 2. I don't know if you guys have ever played the first Moonlighter. That was a pretty cool game. So kind of the Cuisinaire game is based around a restaurant. The point of this game, it's the same idea, except you run a weapons and item shop. Oh, okay. But then at night you go into this dungeon thing and get those items.
That's interesting.
The first one was really cool. I played a little bit of it, but it's getting a sequel called The Endless Vault.
Okay.
It's getting an early access.
Then.
Yeah. The first one's really cool. You could it might even be on that PlayStation thing. Honestly,
I'm gonna look at it.
So
what's it called? Moonlighter, right?
Moonlighter. Very, very interesting game. I probably should have given more time to when it came. I think I played it on Switch, actually. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is getting its first DLC on September 9th. That Enzo MMO game is getting some DLC. They did a story trailer for Ninja Gaiden 4 that's out October 21st. They did a new Companions trailer for The Outer Worlds 2 that's out October 29th. Chronos. I did watch the trailer for Chronos: The New Dawn. I'm very interested in this game. It's a Black Friday game for me because I'm not paying $70. I'm not going to Callisto Protocol myself again, is what I say.
Yeah,
so,
don't do that.
Moonlighter's on Game Pass, FYI.
Okay. Chronos: The New Dawn is a cool trailer. That's out September 5th. That's literally right around the corner.
Yeah.
Silent Hill F got another trailer that's out pretty soon. They did a launch trailer for Delta Force. You and I need to look at that, Dan.
I almost downloaded it the other day. It's 115 gigs.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll wait.
Okay. Fortnite got a Squid Game crossover. It seems a little late for that, but okay.
Yeah.
Other free to play games. I'm kind of gonna.
What about that He-Man beat 'em up game?
That's what I'm looking for. Here's like the beat 'em up games and stuff. Like there was a He-Man beat 'em up game. Oh, and then of course, how could I forget Bubsy 4D?
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Bubsy 4D is happening.
What are we doing?
This Battlestar Galactica game looks kind of cool. It's very much like FTL. I don't know if you ever played that game. I think that was a Steam thing, but that game was really cool. He-Man and the Masters Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction. It is one of those side-scroll beat-em-up games. That game actually looks very good.
It looks good.
I'd be interested in trying that. They did show more of Onimusha. That's another
I'm
one that
all
was
in
there.
on that one.
Onimusha looks great.
Yeah.
I don't need any more to like. I don't need them to sell that to me at this point. Just tell me a release date. Lords of the Fallen 2 got a big reveal here. I watched the trailer. Maybe think about going back to the first one because I do have it. The biggest trailer here, and I don't say that just because I'm a fan. I will say like this is the one that I saw everywhere people talking about. And maybe it's just because we haven't had one of these, like a big Lego game in a while. But Lego Batman is returning with Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the entire 30-minute demo that they put out for this game. It is taking so it'll have the Nolan trilogy. It has 89 Batman. So it's every Batman movie. Except they probably don't do the Adam West stuff, but the 90s, the Nolan trilogy, even the Pattinson Batman, they're all in this. But it's
a fucking
it's
Arkham
not what
game.
You think. Yeah, okay, but it's not what you think. Here's the crazy part. It's not what you think. It mixes all of these elements together and makes it its own story. So the sequence that I watched that they released is kind of like the 89 Batman where you're running up against Jack Napier, who's the Joker in that version, but instead they made him Red Hood here, which is interesting. So it's playing with stuff like that here. And that's the other part. They actually brought in, that's probably the most mind-blowing part. They brought people in that worked on the Arkham games, and this game has the Arkham comic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it looks
really good. Also, driving the Batmobile looks very good. Yeah.
Looks very good. Maybe we learned.
Maybe it controls like a car.
Yeah. My only gripe, I don't like the voice of Batman in this game. I'm from the era of I don't need the Lego characters to talk because those early games they just kind of made Sims noises, and that was fine.
The problem with that too is especially when you get into the crux of a Lego game, I just did that DC Supervillains one a couple years ago. Yeah. So many fucking characters need voices. It's 200 characters that game.
But there hasn't been a Lego Batman game since the third one, which was it was really a Justice League game.
Right.
So
yeah, that was a Green Lantern.
That game was fine. Yeah, that was more of a Green Lantern game. Yeah, that game was fine though. But there hasn't been a big I'd say. People haven't seemed like they're really excited about a new Lego video game in a while because Lego Horizon didn't sell well at all.
I did to be fair, someone who did the DC one, I thought that one was pretty good.
I did think that was pretty good too.
The hub stuff is a little much. And then that Star Wars one I did last year, which even as not a Star Wars guy, that game is very good. It has a ton of stuff in it.
Yeah.
So much more stuff than it should ever have. So if they pace these out and just give us one every couple of years, fine. The Horizon one is a weird crossover one that I just don't think we needed. The Lego sets are fine, but I don't think I need a game for it.
Yeah.
But that being said, I did get a copy off of Woot, and I'll probably be playing it next year at this point. Next time I need to play a Lego game for trophies or something, that's the next one on the list.
I'm excited about this. I think it looks really good.
I think it sold me on it's probably a day one purchase.
I'm going to be very interested to see how 2-player split screen works with Arkham Combat, though. They do not show that in this video. So But very, very interested in that. The rest of this stuff, like, it doesn't really need to be touched on that much. There's a Monster Hunter.
Some more stuff then. So you missed Triangle Strategy.
That was a surprise thing.
I know, but it released on other consoles like that day, which is great because that was a Switch locked game.
It was Switch, and then they put it on Steam,
right? But
eventually,
it's a Switch locked game. So that's a cool thing to exist, especially when like there is hype again for tactics style games. Put it out, and if it does well, if it does well on these systems, you'll get another sequel. Because Octopath has had 2 sequels now. And that's a game very much like this. The Triangle Strategy game, by the way, on PlayStation, I'm pretty sure it has like 100 fucking trophies.
Oh gosh,
which is awful. But I'm a little upset. There's no physical copy. I get it, but
I get it. I
would really like one. If it was on Square's site, I'd probably buy it. So, and to go along with that, I mean, you missed the 7 Remake Integrate Experience trailer for Xbox because we all know that that's going to sell millions of copies on Xbox.
Yes.
What was the other thing I thought? Power Wash Simulator 2 got a trailer.
Yeah, it did. So I don't think it's dated yet, but it got a price
reveal
trailer,
thing.
Which is it's just the same price as the first game.
We were talking about, I think you and I off the thing too. We're like, it's $25. I think they're selling themselves way short.
I do too.
That game should be $50, and I don't think anyone would complain. The amount of time I put into the first game,
the first one,
for what I paid for it,
for what it is,
and for the amount of stuff they added. Not even talking like paid DLC, which is all pretty much worth it.
Over 100 hours of power washing enjoyment.
So I played it twice.
Yeah,
I did the PS4 and the PS5 copy because it's that good.
And this will probably be a day one.
And this will be a day one, and we're gonna power wash the shit out of some stuff.
Yes,
I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm so excited to play that game. I was also the kind of person who's like, you don't even need to make it 2. You can just put more shit in this. But now I'm actually more excited that it's 2. Was there anything else released that they talked about that I was like, oh yeah? I mean, Sonic Racing gets Pac-Man stuff, great. Monster Hunter Final Fantasy 14 crossover, fine.
The one thing that's here that's is video game but not a video game in a sense is they debuted the Fallout Season 2 trailer.
That means nothing to me. Like, as someone who loves the first season of that show, can't wait.
I know.
Wait for the second season.
You always knew they were going to do this.
I know, but like, I don't need to see a single fucking thing from what Season 2 is going to be. You told me what it is. It's New Vegas. It's all I needed to know.
Yeah.
It's it. I'm very excited for that. I think that's December, right?
December 17th.
Wow. Okay.
So
I can't wait. I can't wait for that.
Right, smack in the middle of these 3 volumes of Stranger Things, the end. So why not? Why not?
Maybe I finally watched the last season of Stranger Things.
I would tell you to buckle up because it's lengthy.
I don't. Talk about a series that like had me hooked hard and then had me drop off harder.
And the issue is it's not the quality of the story at all.
It is
the fact that they took too long. Mm-hmm. Like they even took too long between seasons 2 and 3.
I would even tell you that
and that was pre-pandemic.
Squid Game took way too long between 1 and 2 and 3, but they didn't lose me. This is too much.
We literally have to address the fact that these kids look like they're 30.
They're married in real life and have kids. Yeah. So
we're really doing it.
Yeah. It just needs to be
I'm ready for it to be done, but hopefully it gives it a good ending. So, but I will remind you, it's been 3 years since the last season of that show.
When did that show start?
2016.
Jesus Christ.
Here's the craziest thing, because I reminded my fiance about it the other day. I remember when they originally announced it, there was no hype, no fanfare. It was just a new Netflix thing. And I remember watching it right away because I thought the premise was cool. And I remember liking it. It was like, that was pretty cool. And then I rewatched it with her. And it was like right after we finished rewatching it, it just fucking blew up and went everywhere. It was like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened. And they went.
I remember watching it and getting really into it just because it was oddly dark and creepy, and the D&D crossover stuff was neat and
very well done.
Very well done, and it looked good. And then I remember season 2 being mostly okay, except for the odd spin-off episode in the middle. I even thought season 3 with like the mall and like the
mall
80s
stuff was
was
awesome.
super cool.
Yes.
Like you just felt the vibe.
Yes.
But then it really felt like this should really just be over. And it the end of the 3rd season really just made me feel like we're just going to drag this shit out like forever.
Yeah. Well, see, and the big thing they do in season 4, and I even watch it, is they give the upside down. They give it an actual villain,
right?
And then
I
they
know
kind
all
of
about
retrofit.
that.
Yeah, they kind of retrofit like, oh, he was there the whole time, kind of thing.
Like Jason Momoa in the Fast franchise, he was there the whole time.
He's fine. I would say he's fine as a villain.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, that was kind of Gamescom. There's some other things here as we go through the news and stuff we'll touch on, but it was a whatever show.
Yeah, it was.
Had a couple cool announcements for sure.
Again, the directs are just far more interesting. Like,
I agreed. Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes are in full development. That excites me. I love those original games too. I really wish that, and I believe because remember, Remedy doesn't own the rights to Max Payne anymore. Rockstar bought the rights. So they had to get permission to do these, but I really wish they would do a remaster or re-release of Max Payne 3 for current consoles.
They should.
Because that game was amazing. I've played through it many times on PC. So
such a good one.
Such a good game. That big it's not an MMO. It's actually a single player RPG. Crimson Desert got delayed till early 2026. That game looks really good. I don't think it's going to hit the hype though.
I just keep delaying it, man. Why not?
I put this in here because it's, kind of adjacent, I guess. I mean, our podcast is on YouTube, but that YouTube new AI age verification system went into effect. It's just a wild, weird thing.
Yeah, it's sure.
Yeah, it's very.
Trust an AI to tell you how old you are now, I guess. Sure.
Dystopian.
Yeah.
Would be the words I would use. As we tend to like to, go off on Microsoft here. One of the execs at Microsoft made a very I wouldn't say odd, but almost very definitive statement. And of all places, it was of course on LinkedIn. Which, if you know anything about LinkedIn, I feel like sociopaths use LinkedIn.
I don't know if
I only update my LinkedIn whenever I get a new job, and I never log into it again. But I
can't remember the last time I logged into LinkedIn. I follow
a Twitter account where somebody pulls posts of LinkedIn people and some of these CEOs and executives, and they're fucking crazy.
Well, some of the to be fair, some of those are parody, but some of them are real.
Some of them are real, and they're really fucking out there. Anyways, the chief hardware person basically posted on LinkedIn that they are wrapping up the Xbox Series X and S era as they look to future hardware, which really does seem like maybe that new system launches next fall.
Wrapping up what?
That's my problem. It's what are you wrapping up?
What did they accomplish?
I said it to you the other day, and I think you like the name, but I now refer to it as Deadbox.
Yeah, it's just
because that's what it feels like. It just feels like there's no hype for anything.
My One X is a media player. It is the easiest way for me to launch YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, whatever. That's all I use it for. I don't think I haven't played a game on that since I tried to stream Starfield.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you borrowed my others.
I borrowed yours specifically for Indiana Jones. Coming to Switch too.
You didn't want to stream that.
Because there's no way it would have worked, but
you didn't want to wait.
I didn't want to wait. I could have waited. I did not want to wait.
But it's just what a weird thing. I'm at the process now where in a couple weeks I have to try and look and find a deal to extend my Game Pass subscription. Finally, I'm finally hitting that 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was just me, I probably wouldn't because I don't use the Xbox much anymore.
Years ago, I'd been an Xbox live member since day one. Mm-hmm. And I finally got to a point where it's I really don't need this at all.
It's the platform that my fiance uses almost on a daily basis. So and the games that she is playing are Game Pass games.
There you go.
So I'm kind of stuck, but I did tell her because we've been having a conversation because for whatever reason her mom brought up a comment the other day of I want to get a system for over here. What should I get? And I just told her a PlayStation and that's when the dead box comment came up again. It was like, what about an Xbox? It's over.
Not for no.
Like, no. If you want a future proof, no. So, but it's just kind of a crazy thing to say. But at the same time, like, what was this era of the system? Yeah. It just was a very slow.
What are we wrapping up production on hardware and games that were wrapped up on physical
that are just coming to the competitor? So
it's insane.
I'm going to put these two together. So Helldivers 2 is coming out next week for Xbox. They are going to have an official crossover content with ODST stuff, which makes sense. It plays very well into it. Yeah. That is a $15 thing, by the way, if you don't know.
Could be a lot worse.
But it's on. I mean, it's on everything, right? So it's not just tied to Xbox. But obviously, like, once again, we get into this territory of social media meltdowns and people that cannot grasp that these walled gardens are coming down for these systems, and like exclusivity is at an all-time low. Like the only platform that still respects exclusivity now is Nintendo. At this point, right?
That's for a different reason.
Really hard. Yeah, but it's for a different reason for sure. Like, but still, there's been a lot of just meltdowns and people, and like if you ever even just take 5 seconds and go on Twitter, it's a hellscape of either people bitching about that or people bitching about Zack Snyder's Superman. So, and current Superman, which we can discuss later. Resident Evil 2 and 3, the classic ports, they were announced earlier this year. They came out on GOG, I think in like May, around that time. They finally hit PlayStation Network, kind of like they did this with the first one, I think roughly this time a year ago. No trophies. Once again, kind of like they patched it in later for the first one, so they'll probably patch in for these. But again, like, why are we launching these games with no trophies?
They don't give a shit about trophies. They only put them in when people complain enough, and they're like, okay, I guess.
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
It is weird though that like you're updating it for a platform where that is, a requirement for almost every game.
Like, at some point, I look at those like, yeah, I do kind of want to go back and play the original versions.
And that's what their argument would be to you is be like, well, just go play the new ones if you want trophies.
Yeah,
we made those for you.
Yeah.
The Fixer. I put in here good old Rod Ferguson, the Gears Viking. Who was brought in to fix multiple other games, including, I didn't remember this. They brought him in to get BioShock Infinite out the door, too.
I do remember that.
I didn't realize that. So he was brought in to do that. He was brought back to help Gears 4, like the end of Gears 4 into Gears 5. And he left after Gears 5. Then he went, was able to push Diablo 4 out the door. He is now going back to 2K and helping them to get BioShock 4 out the door. So, which, like, we haven't even seen a trailer for BioShock 4. So, like, what is that game?
How far away is that? Like, it's
right.
What could it possibly be? I don't know.
That's a weird, because at least these other games that he went and quote unquote fixed and got out the door were tangible games. We'd seen them. Mm-hmm. Like, we'd seen a trailer. We knew about them. We have no idea or concept of what BioShock 4 is at this time.
Right.
So
I know more about
nothing to
the BioShock clones.
Ken Levine's other
I know more about Judas and Clockwork Revolution than I know about this.
Yeah. Probably the other like biggest news story of this week is that finally, and we've said it for a couple months on here that it would happen, but finally Sony has announced their price hikes due to the tariffs. I will read. We got emails about it because people are not happy. I'll read them real quick. Jack from Sacramento, California. Howdy, guys. I can't believe Sony is raising the price of the PS5 after 5 years. I get the tariff situation is complete bullshit, but I really thought they wouldn't pull this after seeing how it went over for both Microsoft as well as Nintendo. Do you think this pricing lasts the rest of this generation? Man, 5 years and shit is going up in price. Just insane. We also have Chris from Boise, Idaho. Man, what the hell is with this Sony price hike? I just can't believe that they are doing it too. This is one doomed generation. So I will say, like, not that it makes it any better, but they didn't go for the throat with a $600
could have.
PS. Yeah. They could have. They only went up 50, but hey, man, now I can finally feel justified on that PS5 Pro because it's $750 now.
I'm surprised that one wasn't the one where they were like, okay, it's $800.
Insane,
but
though, like, what are we doing, man?
Well, especially if you're thinking about it in the terms of like Xbox is wrapping up, and we're getting to the point where we're hearing more and more about, well, there's going to be a PS6. Mm-hmm. It's crazy to raise prices now. Like,
right?
Blaming it on tariffs and stuff, sure, fine. Like, tariffs are real. We all know they are. But it's such like a shit excuse to be, well, we've sold, hundreds of millions of these things, and we're by far the leader in console sales. Let's get an extra $50.
I read it the other day. I want to say they're at 80 million sold now.
My question is, that if we go to the PS6, what do you raise that? Do you raise that $100 from the PS5 then?
That's going to probably start at $600.
Yeah.
Like, and depending on what size like drive is in there, because it ain't going to have a disc drive.
Yeah.
No, I will be amazed.
Maybe an optional one you could buy separate.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think the
I would
base
be
unit.
Super shocked.
Or it's closer to that 550 range because it doesn't have that drive in it.
The problem with it is if it doesn't have one, you eliminate, backwards compatibility for people who own physical PS4 or PS5 games. So that is a problem, which is why my argument for them would probably be, well, let's just make an add-on that you could buy if you want to play those games, which is fucking terrible, but that's probably the way we're going.
So to run it down really quick, the base PS5 with a disc drive is going to be $550, or is at the time now is $550. The digital edition is just $500, and the Pro is $750. So crazy. Couple other things I put in here. So I was forced to watch the 40-minute gameplay of High on Life 2 the other day, which is out February 13th. I actually walked away from watching the 40 minutes of that pretty impressed. So the game has a skateboard now, but it plays like Titanfall.
Okay, sure.
That's how the skateboard works. So like you just kind of have the skateboard on, but like you're riding rail. There's all sorts of, it's a first person combination of Titanfall. And then I'd say like Sunset Overdrive, because you're grinding rails and stuff.
Okay.
But it seems like it works pretty flawlessly. The other thing that the other couple things that caught my eye is like one of the new quote unquote talking guns is a hitman. You actually create the gun, which I'm not gonna go through the process of how that happens, but it's voiced by the guy that played or did the voice of Galactus.
Okay.
And it's very well done. Like you can tell the guy's having fun doing it. And then the other thing I thought was clever was it showcases this boss battle where you're fighting this guy that can shrink himself down. And at a certain point in the boss battle, he shrinks himself down and goes into your suit. And when he does that, the suit OS is like your pause menu. So you're fighting this guy going through your pause menu. And he's just fucking with the settings of the game and stuff.
That's wild.
And you have to like fight him like in the pause menu.
That's an interesting concept. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll also say too, like maybe I enjoyed what I saw more because the Rick and Morty person that was in the first game is not in this game. So it's like the other voice actors that were in that game, like JB Smooth and Tim Robinson, like those people. So it still maintains like the humor, but it doesn't have the Rick and Morty person in it.
Gotcha.
So maybe the humor worked a little better for me because I don't know. But I went into it with a ground because my fiance loves the original High on Life, and she's also a big Rick and Morty fan. But I walked out of this like, no, this actually looks like something to be kind of excited about. So, and it's out in February. We don't, we'll see. But it is. I did look it up too. It is on Game Pass day one. So, but it'll be on everything.
There you go.
But yeah, I enjoyed what I saw of that demo. I thought there were a lot of things that were very clever and very funny.
I mean, honestly, the first one was entertaining. Like it wasn't like fantastic game. It was just fun. Like
it was just fun, and I think the DLC they put out for it too was very, very fun. It's just I've seen too much of it in my house, so it's being played right now as we speak. So, But yeah, I look forward to it. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. They finally announced everything that's going to be in it. We can run through. I think
I'm glad that they added more stuff to it.
They did. So I'll run down the full complete list. So it's the original Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat 4, Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat Special Forces, Mortal Kombat Advance, if you want to play that.
Sure.
And then Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance and Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition. So it's cool to see.
There's good stuff in there.
There's good stuff in there. I should also say
there's good stuff.
There's bad stuff in there too. I feel like, and maybe it's not in this article, but I feel like the Shalom Monks game was also announced to be put in it. So
I don't remember seeing that. Like, that's the one I want.
I thought it would.
But
okay. I thought I did, but maybe I read that
probably
wrong.
That was maybe wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Deadly Alliance is cool though, but hey, I don't know. This collection looks better than when it originally
putting
was
Deadly
announced.
Alliance in it is good. It's a little, if we're gonna go that far, like you probably could have given me, Armageddon.
The other,
it's fine. Because I think
so.
Because what there was Deadly Alliance, Armageddon, and what was the other one?
And then the game after that last PS2 era one.
MK8 is technically the DC one.
Yeah, there's something in between though.
Yeah, there's another one, but I wish you could have got me all the way up to before. Obviously, we're not going to make MK8 ever again.
No.
In any capacity at all.
They can't.
No.
They really can't.
But if you could have gotten me all the way up to there, that would have been really like the definitive Mortal Kombat thing.
Yeah. Because at that point, then what are you going to do?
Well, because after that, it's 9,
10,
and that's
11,
when it's already started over at that point. So,
seems like and we'll see, but it seems like because of different things that have leaked out around a specific car import company, that the location of Forza Horizon 6 has been leaked, which will be Japan. That's been the hotbed dream for a long time. So
that's a very good place to put it.
It would be a very good place to finally put that. I guess not for me personally. I don't think for anybody here on this podcast, but for a lot of people, one of probably the biggest announcement of Gamescom. It didn't happen opening night live. They made people wait for another day, but Hollow Knight Silksong has a release date. It's out September 4th. It made me think maybe I should give the original one another chance. I was telling Matt the other day, I oddly have that on every platform.
That's
and
weird.
I only ever bought it for Switch. But I think I got it through some sort of Steam thing. I believe it was a Games of Gold at some point. I mean, I thought it was a Plus thing, or maybe it's through Plus Premium or something, but I have it literally on everything. But I tried when it originally came out. I tried it on Switch for whatever reason, and I'm a huge Metroidvania fan. I just couldn't get into it, and I felt like it's just I'm at the point because of the fan base and because of how hard they've been pushing for this. I've just felt like the original is overrated. So, but I'm thinking about giving it another chance. One of the other cool announcements it was at opening night live. I purposely left off talking about it because I want to talk about it separately. I don't know if I believe the release date, but Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 now has a release date of October 21st. Is that actually going to really happen? I don't know. But
Would you believe
it? I will say, for not seeing that game for probably 2 years now, it looks good. I feel like it has a completely different story direction than the last time we saw it, but that's fine. But it looks cool. And I want to say this is the third or fourth developer that's worked on this game since it was announced, because it's been pushed around.
I know.
So it's one of those I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna see the reviews of it, see if people actually like it, and maybe a Black Friday game. But I'm interested in it. But I don't know if it's gonna actually hit October, so we'll see. DC head James Gunn has teased some new future Warner Brothers games with some bigger things now in the early stages. So that's one of the things. For me, it remains to be seen. But I remember when he originally sat down and kind of gave that pitch of what he wanted to do with the DCU. One of those things was tying the video games into the universe. Yeah, which like I don't know if that's really going to work, but I think from the direction he's coming from, because he even says in this article like it's not off the table for David Cornsweet, the guy currently playing Superman, to do his voice in a game. Now, does that mean it's going to be a Superman game? No.
Right.
But could he appear in a DC game? Sure. And maybe that's more of the level I should be looking at it, other than like, oh, there's a big story event that happens in this game that's going to be in this movie.
No,
like,
I don't think that's what it would be. I think it would be it's a Superman game, and he's in it, but it has nothing to do with the universe that we're making.
Yeah. And the final news article here is that obviously Konami, if Metal Gear remake, so if the Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta remake for Snake Eater does well, they'll do more of these. I don't know. I think we were talking about it earlier today. So the game's out next week. The reviews are coming out for it today.
The reviews are all very good. But also
the performance. The reviews are all very good. But the performance of the game, at least for the PlayStation, is not very good.
That's not going to stop people at all.
Is it going to stop people from buying the game? Absolutely.
The reviews are all 9s, 10s, and stuff. It's fine.
They are. So, but it's a game where like the collection from 2 years ago launched in a broken state, and now it's fine. So they'll probably get it patched and working up. I was not going to buy this game day one anyways, but it is a bummer to see the performance issues that it has, considering how long this game's been in its like remake development. So. That wraps up news. As far as like game recommendations for the week, for me, I'm just going with The Thing here. I think it was a really cool game when it came out back in the day. Now there's a really like good and easy way for you to play. Again, you don't have to buy a physical copy of this. It's on the digital store. It's on sale all the time.
I think we talked about it too. Like I really liked it back when it came out too. I wonder what it is like now, but
I wonder what it's like now. I've not played it since it came out like you, and I do think like the cool aspect of it, 20 years ago or whatever, probably isn't going to work as well today because you could probably see through the cracks of it.
Well,
a little bit easier.
And like we talked about before, is like it seemed like it was, I don't want to say like random, but it seemed like it could change, but it couldn't change. Mm-hmm. It was predated, like it was predicted before.
Yeah,
it was,
for sure.
Anything.
For sure, but I still highly recommend it. And I think it's an excellent game. If you are, for whatever reason, you're out and you're looking for it on older systems, it was also on the original Xbox. I think that's where I own a copy of it. Mm-hmm. And then obviously now you can get it. It is on current Xbox as well. So, but also on PlayStation. So, how about you, Dan?
I've probably talked about this game before. I don't think I've ever like shown it off or anything. This is one of my favorite like Super Nintendo RPGs of all time, and it's one that I don't think a lot of people, I don't want to say like think is bad or anything, but like don't think about, because like it's in the Secret series, so like Secret of Mana and stuff like that. So, it's like the little brother, but I think it's better. It's I have my copy of Secret of Evermore.
Damn,
this is such a great box, because that's such like an iconic cool moment in the game, and it's pretty early on, but that's like one of the first bosses you fight. You can see a better picture of him on the back, but just super cool, like action adventure game. You go to like different worlds, and they're all themed differently. Like there's the archaeological world, and then there's like the Victorian world and the future world and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like puzzle solving to do between you and the dog, and you can kind of take charge of the dog at certain times to solve puzzles. There's, you can do alchemy. It's not like a lot like Secret of Mana. Like, let's be fair, like just like in a much different like setting, but I always thought the story was super cool. Like, just the game was very good. I've probably played through this game like 4 or 5 times.
Nice.
Yeah, I love this game. This game's so good. This is my original copy too.
It's good.
Because I remember I got this because for Christmas that year I asked for Earthbound, this, and maybe Chrono Trigger all in the same year. And I got this and Earthbound, but only because my mom couldn't find Chrono Trigger. I ended up having to get that later. But so this is one of my like favorite like old RPGs, old school rating too, kids to adults.
There you go.
Before the other ones existed.
KA.
Yeah. Very good game.
I went ahead and said Beautiful Joe.
Oh, I love that game.
I thought it was a solid game back in the day. I want to say I played the GameCube version first before, and then I think I ended up finding it on PlayStation most recently.
Yeah, it was on Cube first for a long time before they redid it.
Then they dropped it on PS2, I believe?
And then they made 2.
Yeah. I can't remember if I played through 2, but I remember 1 really well. I mean, I thought it was a solid game, and I still enjoy it to the day now. So, yeah, that's my recommendation.
We put it in. I remember putting it in the GameCube at work and playing it all the time. And the thing about that game too is like it's not easy.
No.
Especially when you get to like boss fights and stuff, because you have to like slow time down and kick stuff and then speed time up. But it has like the mechanics of that game are all very good. I would love to see. God, imagine if they did like a 1 and 2 like package for Switch or something.
Nice.
That'd be great. I would love to play those games again.
Cool.
When they put them on PlayStation, they put Dante in it.
Oh,
that was like that was like the big thing. Dante was an unlockable character in it. It's pretty cool.
That's good. That's cool. Yeah, those are recommendations. We can kick over to movies. So movies, TV. So I only watched one movie this week, and we'll go through it in a minute. But I have watched the first 3. It's been 3 now episodes of Alien Earth. Roller coaster of a show for me. First episode, fantastic. It had a very good, like, very interesting setup, and they're doing some different things with the Alien universe. Like, they go through, like, the idea here is they were taking these kids that are sick with cancer, and they're basically transferring their soul into the synthetics, and they do that with a group of these kids. Very interesting idea. The idea of the ship crashing on Earth, very cool. Problem with the show, and where it's really kind of derailed for me in the second and now third episode, even more so, is that it's just breaking the lore of Alien. Because part of the issue is the way this show is set in the timeline, it takes place 2 years before the events of the first Alien movie, which already doesn't make sense. Because the whole point is like they didn't have the alien was ever seen on Earth,
right?
All this time, but now all of a sudden you're going to say that the alien was seen on Earth 2 years before the events of the original. Like, that doesn't make sense to begin with, and that's really starting to break the show. They're also, and maybe they're not going to do this, but I feel like that's what they're setting up. They're also starting to kind of set up this thing at the end of the most recent episode where maybe the main one of these synthetics, which you have to remember, like, each one of these people they're played by obviously adult actors, but they're supposed to be kids in adults' bodies.
Okay.
The main character that you follow, it seems like they're heavily implying she might have some sort of psychic link to one of the xenomorphs. I don't like it.
Sure.
So, like, I don't think that's going to go very well. It's going, like, it's a show that I think had a really strong pilot, and, like, I was all in that first episode, and it's just quickly derailed. Yeah, where I'm like, and the thing is, it also ignores the events of Prometheus and Alien Covenant, which a lot of people will tell you they hate those movies. I love them. So maybe that's part of the issue is, like, I think Prometheus, Covenant, and Romulus most recently, I thought all those were very, very good. And this feels just kind of second rate. And not even in the acting or like the actual like set and production of the TV show is very, very good. Like, it feels like you're in the Alien universe. It also adds things like, okay, you always know that a face hugger is what kind of like quote unquote impregnates into the person and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Now they're introducing like, oh, well, inside of the tube that goes in the mouth of the person is like this little fucking like thing that goes in their mouth. And it's like a little like tadpole. And it's like, okay, like we're adding stuff like that where it's like, but we haven't talked about this in these other 6 movies that have existed.
Yeah, well, that's the toughest part when you're getting to this point where you're trying to go back in the timeline and force stuff in.
I feel like they should have went forward with it instead of backwards. So, again, I'm going to finish it because it's only 8 episodes and I watch it weekly. But I will say, like, my enjoyment of it has severely diminished as it's gone on. Yeah. So we'll see. And then the only other thing that I watched is Jurassic World Rebirth. And
I'm trying to save you.
It's terrible. I mean, like, and what I told you is like, I think Dominion is a worse movie, but if that's a 3 out of 10, this is a 4 out of 10. I don't think, like, maybe either you omitted this or we glossed over it, but like the reason that they're going to that island is to get these samples to cure heart disease.
Yeah, it's all a pharmaceutical thing.
And it's so stupid to me. The other thing that, and this kills me, and this has been my problem since the first Jurassic World movie, which I thought was fine when it came out.
Yeah.
Like, it was enjoyable, but like, it's called Jurassic World. The dinosaurs are everywhere. When this movie starts, it's like people in New York. I think it's New York. I don't remember what the city is. But it's like everyday people trying to deal with, hey, these fucking dinosaurs are here and they're in the way and stuff like that. That is infinitely more interesting to me to explore in the movie. But instead it's like, well, no, we got to go back to this other island that we made up. We got to
find more dinosaurs. We have to get more dinosaurs.
The plot with the family sucks.
How much did you fucking hate the boyfriend?
He's terrible.
Even like when he
tries to redeem himself, but then
multiple times, he becomes
and
a piece of shit.
like the dad really fucking tries. Like, he really puts that olive branch out hard, and that guy, he's fucking insufferable.
Yeah, he's
the
awful.
Entire movie. But that was the other thing I said. Is like, they're literally. I think that the quote I said to my fiance we were watching is like, they're literally going to Dino Fuck Island. Like, this is so stupid to me as I'm watching this. And it's like, the minute they went in the beginning in that like museum thing or whatever, they're explaining the setup. And the minute he was like, well, we got to get this one. And the first one they show is like a sea one. I'm like, oh, it's going to be land, sea, and air, isn't it? And sure enough, like, we need a land one, a sea one, air. I'm like, oh, I could have written this myself. Like, as I watch it, the CG looks bad.
Yep.
I will say, I heard it from you. I heard it from other people. The beginning with the candy wrapper, I wanted that to be more ridiculous. It's not as ridiculous as I wanted
it could have been, but it's still real.
Because it's literally just
dumb.
it flies into a vent and fucks up a door, and oh no, this thing's gonna get out that has these hands and like kind of looks like a dick. Like, I don't know.
Awful.
It's just, the whole thing is bad. It ends like this. They have that set up at the end where that guy's gonna die, and I already knew that from what you had told me, but it's still just as bad as what you told me as it's happening, because it's so drawn out, and then it just fucking ends.
Yeah, they're on the boat. It's over,
and it's just over. They're on the boat, and like, oh, it's over, and they play that original. You know, it's just, it fucking sucks.
What did we accomplish?
Nothing.
Exactly.
They accomplished nothing in this movie.
No dinosaurs are
like
dead.
It's rebooting it. Her character arc is terrible. Like, because again, it's so all over the place with what they want to do with her. Is she a badass? But then she's not.
I told you, there's an easy way to fix it. Like I told you, the part of the boat is so fucking dumb. She looks incompetent. But the easiest thing, like, she talks a lot about, like, I hate dinosaurs, I'm not doing this. But then the minute he's like, I'll pay you some money, she's like, fuck yeah, I'm in. Do a scene in the beginning of the movie before we're in the car where she's in the jungle or something with her buddies, and her buddies get picked off by dinosaurs. And you see her fight
like the
off
whole
and
thing they
kill
set
a
up
dinosaur.
at the beginning of the movie was like, I assume it was her significant other or something.
That's what it seems
got blown
like.
up by a car bomb.
Yeah.
Is what they said. So I don't even think it had anything to do with dinosaurs.
Why not make him killed by a dinosaur on one of your missions?
Maybe the dinosaur created the car bomb and attached it to the car bomb.
Hands.
They mutated a dinosaur with a car bomb, so he was born with a car bomb inside him. But
there you go.
Have him die by a dinosaur, and she has to like literally fist fight a dinosaur, and she kills it, or something to prove that she's worthy of doing this.
How it starts, like, how much more interesting would it be if they just, hey, the next one takes place in New York and these fucking dinosaurs are here and we got to figure that out. That's what I told you the plot should have been, because that guy, the science guy, who is far too good at shooting guns, climbing, falling from high cliffs, or anything ever that a science man has done. Yeah. Why he has that very good line where it's like, you know, maybe we shouldn't have done this kind of stuff. He has a good discussion about, like, we shouldn't have done this shit. Yeah. Because the whole plot of the movie should be dinosaurs took over the whole fucking planet. Mm-hmm. And we're all fucked because we brought dinosaurs back. And the thing is, they gloss over that by just simply saying, like, well, they're all dying out because and it's like, okay, but like, we could still go back to when they first got out.
Should go the opposite way.
Not like, well, now there's another island. They were doing fucking weird experiments on this island.
I just think the plot of the Earth has been taken over by dinosaurs and we have to survive.
There's like 8 islands
far
now.
More interesting than going to find more dinosaurs because other dinosaurs have died. Like, make it
4 out of 10.
Yeah,
I need 18 more of these movies.
You're
I
getting
feel like
another
we'll
one.
Guaranteed. It was the of the summer blockbuster season. It was the most successful movie.
Terrible.
So you will be getting another one in 2 to 3 years, and probably with Scarlett Johansson because apparently she loved making it. So
she'll be back for sure.
She'll be back. Dan, you finally.
So have we all seen it now? We
can finally talk about. We've all seen it. I want you. Matt knows. I want you to guess what is the one thing I don't like about this movie.
You don't like Supergirl.
Okay, you got it.
I don't have a problem with it because one of the main reasons I don't have a problem with it is like we had a Supergirl TV show for a very long time, which I watched all of it, and she was very good. She was like prototypical, golly gee, I'm Supergirl kind of a girl. I think it's more interesting to go the other way. And now having seen this movie and seeing this guy as Superman, he's great as Superman, by the way. He's perfect. I don't have a single problem with this guy.
Nobody seems like they do.
He's really good. I think everyone is pretty damn good as who they're supposed to be. I love this take on Ma and Pa Kent where they're like just older regular farm people and they're not like a total complete dick like Kevin Costner.
It was like going and having a conversation with my parents.
Yes, and I think that's important.
Last weekend we went to this restaurant and hung out. Yeah, exactly.
Like calling him too much and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was great. I love the fact that we just are fucking in the middle of it. It's 3 months into their relationship. He's been around for a long time. We skip over this fucking war thing that every other movie that ever would have done this would have taken an hour and a half to build. No, we're in the middle of it. He already stopped the war. Now we're talking about the ramifications of him stopping a war. Far more interesting because we need to show that Superman is fallible. Like, we're just all in on Lex Luthor. We're already in, like, people should know, like, spoilers abound because it's on digital now. But,
it's okay.
We're all in on, like, Lex Luthor. We're all in on he's already created Ultraman by creating Bizarro. Like, we're already, like, fully in, and, like, when he goes to the Fortress of Solitude in the first 15 fucking minutes. Like, every other movie would have taken 2 hours to do this. Yeah. So I liked the pace. I liked the Justice Gang.
Moves at a fast. It moves at a fast.
It moves quick. We're moving. The Justice Gang stuff, fantastic. All 3 of them are good. They didn't give Hawkgirl enough to do. They don't.
No, I feel like the other 2 kind of overshadowed.
She needs an explanation. I think a little bit more, but. Nathan Fillion, like you thought maybe the Green Lantern stuff would be too much or whatever. Perfect. It's fine. It's great. Yeah. He's perfect as like the dickhead Green Lantern. It's terrific. Fantastic. Metamorpho. Awesome. Like, I think it's a little played up. Like, I'm super sad in the beginning because of his kid. Yeah. And the kid looks like shit in CGI, but that's not their fault.
So bad for that
We can't do babies in CGI. We should just stop doing it. We can't even do them when they're aliens. But like, I liked that they gave him something to do at the end of the movie. Like, they don't just forget about him. Like, he walks off and he's gone and you never see him again. He's there. Like, this is so... It was such a good Superman. Was it great? I don't know if it's great because... Yeah,
like, I don't think it's a great movie, but
pacing's a little weird.
Very enjoyable.
The motive...
And what it shows me is that it's a good start to what he wants to do with it.
I am on board. I am fully on board with whatever he wants to do. So, like, the Supergirl thing, I get why you hate it, but I think it will lead for a more fun... I think
for me, it's a bad first impression.
I guess so, but I think that'll lead to her movie being the fun one. Because every so often, when you're doing a universe of movies, right? And Marvel did it too. Every so often, one of these movies has to be fun. So, like, let her, like Guardians of the Galaxy 1. That's the fun movie. So, it'll give her something to do that's different than what he's doing.
I kind of figured how they were going to end it because he very clearly says a couple times in that movie, like, the crypto's not really my dog. He has like funny puns about it, like throughout the movie. So I kind of figured like, well, they're gonna have to show her because that's the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Supergirl is the next movie. So, and then she came, bumbling in at the end, and I just was like,
well, they explained
like both
it at
me
least too, though.
and my buddy had the same opinion. I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like that didn't sell.
Well, they
me on
explained it that
Supergirl.
she can't act like this on Earth.
Yeah.
So I don't think if the next one takes place on Earth, you're not going to get that version of her. But you might just get more of the like rebellious kind of thing. Maybe she's jealous of him. A little bit. You'll get more Crypto, which is great because Crypto was fun. Again,
it was fun.
But like I'll say this, and this massive spoiler for the movie at this point. But again, it's been out. Like you don't seem like you were put down by the thing with his parents being changed.
I liked his parents being changed. I thought they were good.
Like, and for me, I mean, it's basically Invincible done in Superman, but except he's not fighting his dad, because his dad's dead. But like, I didn't. So that was the thing I knew going into the movie. That was unfortunately a spoil for me ahead of time because everybody was fucking talking about it because of that stupid early Amazon screening. So that blew up and was out everywhere. And it's like, oh, because there's two camps. There's people who don't care like us, and then there's the people like, oh, it breaks the lore. I'm like, but what are you really? We also
don't know that it's true.
That's the thing, and that's the thing. I said, if you really want to, you could retcon that very easily.
You don't have to retcon Lex Luthor, it can be explained away.
Yeah, Lex Luthor doctored some footage.
The girl's literally made out of fucking machines, dude. She can make it say whatever she wants. If she could find the rest of it, she could program it to say whatever she wants. Yeah. And all these people, I love all these people. It's like, no, that video is authentic. How the fuck do you know, dude? That's like Kryptonian technology.
I laughed about that too.
No one else has ever accessed this computer before.
But you know it's authentic.
And then Mr. Terrific, I know the people that did it. They said it's true. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
like it's so we could explain.
Went a little hard into trying to justify.
Save it for Superman 2, and we can find the real message, or even better. How about in Superman 2, his dad's just fucking alive, and he shows up.
There you go. He really get wild with it, right?
I wouldn't mind that either. Like that'd be.
I wouldn't mind that either. I think. Like I said, I like if my basis for this will always be like 78 Christopher Reeves Superman, like 89 Batman. I think it takes a lot of the elements of that and really does a good job of bringing like the joy and the fun of Superman back. It's not Zack Snyder. Everything is doom and gloom. But I mean, and I say that as someone who genuinely enjoyed Man of Steel as well.
Too, for
that movie
reasons.
Has its problems, but. Very heavily has its problems. We know what those are, but I think that this is it's a good first step in what I hope is a great relaunch of all this stuff that we can move forward.
I am very much in, is what I would say. Like it's
agreed.
It was going to be the kind of thing where it made or break me giving a shit. I'm already more in on this than I was on the last DCEU. Because that just never came together, right, man? It just
never came together. Yeah,
it was too dark.
You had your bits and pieces that
like
were okay.
Everybody's fucking sad all the time.
You had your lightning in a bottle moment with the Wonder Woman movie, the first one.
Yeah,
the best movie.
That was where it was like, and that was where it was like, okay, maybe we're really going to turn a corner and do something here. And then you got the original bastardized Justice League cut. So. But I do think like here, and especially I think the other, again, very important element here was picking someone to play Superman. And this guy is just so fucking perfect.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So
instantly believable as both Clark and him. Like I just was, from the minute he started talking and just being Superman, I was like, yeah, he's Superman. I'm all in. Like,
the last thing I'll say too, and you will agree with me on this. How nice is it in this universe that Jimmy Olsen exists and is a character?
He's not fucking dead. Like,
he's not dead.
Off screen.
We've learned off because remember, I think they called him like James Olsen or something in that one. So like you didn't put it together. He was
in Supergirl and stuff, the TV show, and he was good in that too. But like, it's nice to have someone who looks like Jimmy Olsen, acts like Jimmy Olsen, is not dead. I will say that like the plot line of his ex-girlfriend being Luthor's girlfriend. Okay, we're stretching it a little
stretched,
bit.
Sure.
I also do think the only other thing I would maybe take issue with is Luthor's overall plot is a little far-fetched and everything had to go right. everything had to go right, because he admits at the end of the movie that the whole war was fake just so he could get permission to kill Superman. Like, so he starts a war that he knows Superman will stop incorrectly after he cloned Superman and trained this guy to be able to fight Superman. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just, everything had to go correct.
Yeah.
And like, we gloss over these portals in this universe and stuff because we need them for the plot, but holy shit, we just kind of like, you have to accept that this exists
kind of
and
just
move
invented
on.
that. Yeah.
But then it becomes the major conflict at the end of the movie. And like, gee, it's a good thing that turning it off just reverses it. What if it didn't reverse it?
Be really ripping weird the Superman too, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
It was like, you kind of like just accept stuff. I loved the scene where him and Lois are having that talk, and it's like a real thing. And out in the fucking background, they're just
this guy's fighting
the giant like tentacle thing, and he's like, no, they got it. It's fine. It's good. It's cool to already establish heroes in this universe that can take care of things that he doesn't have to do.
Yeah,
like, that was good too.
That was probably my favorite scene, is when he's just sitting there, just kind of like
having a bummer moment. Yeah.
And it's just fucking chaos in the background.
Yeah. And the other thing I really liked is like he starts the movie losing. Like he lost in the beginning of the movie, so they have to redo it. Like, yeah, it's overall solid experience. I think I told you it was like a 7.5 because I feel like there's room to grow. I might bump it to like 100%. An 8. But I would say, as someone who watched that and Fantastic Four, movies are kind of on the same level for me in terms of just like, they make you feel good. They don't waste time. Like, like I said, every other version of the Superman movie made by somebody else is 3 hours long and nothing happens for the first hour and a half.
No, that's the other thing. Like, it's only 2 hours.
Yeah, it moves.
It didn't need to be any longer than that.
No, everybody's great. I'm excited for a second one. I'm excited for whatever spinoffs we do. Like,
how much you love your buddy Peacemaker's cameo?
Fucking great.
Like, I mean, that started, I think, yesterday.
So I got to get in on that. I love the fact that they retconned the ending of Peacemaker 1.
Yeah,
that's great because I saw an interview with him too, where he was like, he can just kind of slot in, and he can just kind of always be around while all of this other thing these things are happening. So it was kind of important to just say, the Justice League didn't exist, so who really cares? And like the retcon, the final credit scene of Peacemaker season 1, yeah, you're fine. It's whatever.
Well, and also I think like dickhead Green Lantern fits so much
better than
because obviously he's going to have a role in this new season of that. So
I'm so excited for it.
Fits that universe perfectly.
You can see, I can already see a conflict between the two of them just being assholes to each other the whole time.
I also think that like it makes me more excited for that Green Lantern show that they're doing, which will be next year.
Yep. I'm so like
they are going to tie him into that with those two guys.
It's early MCU where like now that it's been established that the first one of these is good, like Iron Man was very good. I trust to see what happens next. So for 6 or 7 years, the DCU should probably be fine.
I would say I think Superman. I think it's very good. I don't think it's at that Iron Man level.
No, though. Iron Man was far better.
That was very much also a lightning in a bottle.
Because Iron Man took who was at the time like a B level Marvel thing. It somehow launched something that's still going right now.
Yeah,
and it worked, and like. Because Robert Downey Jr. carried the whole thing. This guy isn't Robert Downey Jr. level, but he is a great Superman.
Very good.
So
very good Superman.
She's great, Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She immediately had, and like I like Amy Adams a lot, but she immediately had a chemistry with him that I feel was kind of absent.
This girl also felt more like a reporter and like doing things. Amy Adams just kind of felt like, she just was there. Superman. And like, it was just kind of a weird vibe kind of a thing.
Yeah.
This just all felt like a more thing. The only thing I will question, and you'll laugh because you'll know what I mean, but like, why is Cat Grant even here? She's in like
to look good.
That's it, right? That's it.
That's the reason.
She's in
that's
it for
the real
like
reason.
3 kind of scenes. She has a 2-minute conversation with Lois.
Well, also like that's an actress that has worked with James Gunn for years, and he likes to cast those people that are
For
around
sure.
him in all these different movies. So like, but yeah, no, I agree. Like her role is incredibly minimal.
Doesn't need to
in
be
that
there
movie.
for this.
Yeah,
especially
for
considering
sure.
you have Perry. Like, I think it would
Yeah.
be better to have one or the other. You don't need
Yeah.
both.
No.
And maybe having Kat would have been more fun because she's like the hot young like leader of this magazine or newspaper or whatever.
For sure.
Yeah. So there's something else to do there. But I also did like the quick Sean Gunn Maxwell Lord thing at the very end. Everybody knows we fucking hate Lex or whatever he says. Yeah.
He's got a pretty heavy role in this new season of Peacemaker, I think, too.
Yeah, I think he'll be great. I like him a lot, and I think it'll just be fun.
He's funny.
It'll be a different version of Maxwell Lord, which will be a lot more fun than Pedro making some wishes, you know? Fuck that. Every time I think about that movie, I just get angry at how
it makes me
much
angry
they
from
fucked
how great that first Wonder Woman movie is to the second one, and like how incredibly problematic.
I'll say Wonder Woman 1
So-
is a great movie until the very, very end, in which point that final like Ares stuff is a little too much.
Little too much,
But,
yeah. But
84 it had such potential. And they
did
fucking ruined it. Why couldn't they just wish him back not in someone's body? That solves so many problems.
Right? Yeah.
Where it's just like he
exactly.
can't just like fucking appear. It solves everything.
Yeah.
No, he had to be in some dude's body. Like, who the fuck did that?
I don't know.
Wow.
But yeah, Superman, very good. Excited for whatever's next.
Yeah,
like, I'll go to the theater, watch Supergirl for sure.
Yeah.
No,
that girl looks
I'm not gonna not go.
That girl looks perfect.
No, as far as like the look and like her in the outfit, like she looks great.
To be fair, the girl on the TV show, she looked fantastic
good too in that outfit.
She was great as Supergirl. But hello.
Sorry.
To be fair, that show though by the end does lose a lot of steam. Becomes a very different show.
I would assume it falls into the same category of why I jumped off of the Arrow versus it's too much.
Every show lasted probably 2 seasons too long.
Every show is connected. I think
I told you before. By the end, the only show really worth watching was Legends of Tomorrow, just because it didn't have rules.
It's because the good writers that were on Arrow season 1 and 2, they jumped to Flash. That's why the first like 2 seasons of that were good, and then they jumped to Legends of Tomorrow.
Right.
So.
Well, and that show wasn't bound by the other shows. It could do what it wanted when it wanted to do. Yeah. And it could just go in and out of everything else, and it was fine. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Superman, pretty good.
But you, Matt?
I watched some trash shows this week. I watched this horrible Tubi original called Clickbait Unfollowed.
Okay.
So what it was is a group of influencers are invited to a house for a competition.
I saw something about this.
Yeah, it's garbage. So what it is, it's like one influencer is like a realtor. He's trying to teach you how to make money fast. Another influencer is like spiritual hippie girl. There's another one who is like a fitness guy. Another one who is like a beautician type, and then a kid influencer who's being pushed to influence by his mom, and then another one who does like a character for like influencing.
Yeah,
it's a very garbage ass movie that really doesn't make any sense because so the premise is there are these challenges that they have to compete in, and at the end of the challenge, the one who's gained the most followers is the winner. The one who is either last in line or has lost followers is the loser, and they kill off the losers essentially. So it's like Squid Games for like fucking social media influencers. It's weird, man. Like it's just it's not even great. It's not even, there's like nothing redeeming about it. None of the people that are in it are like good. They're just kind of there.
I feel I feel like all the different streaming services that give out money for these projects, like Tubi is probably the bottom of the barrel. Like
Tubi is like bottom.
We just want content, so
bottom
whatever.
barrel, dirty.
Yeah, like we just want original content. Whatever you want to do with this 500K, man.
there is like people dedicated to watching bad Tubi movies to where they're just like bad action sequences and like just garbage movies in general on Tubi. This is one of those garbage movies too. Like none of the actors are memorable. There's a weird sex scene in the middle of it that just kind of doesn't make sense.
Or go with anything else that's going on in the movie.
It kind of makes sense, but then in the end, after it's happened, you're just kind of like, why?
Why did that happen?
Like, why did that really happen? It's weird. Don't watch it. It's not worth your time. Unless you just enjoy bad movies, then watch it. But I give it like a 2 out of 10. It's just garbage. I then went ahead and watched Mission Impossible. It's a Mission Impossible movie, man. It was a solid. Like the ending was really good. I think the only thing that threw me off was the whole ending sequence. They were trying to get this bomb done in like 15 minutes, but like the whole airplane battle was just kind of like, wouldn't that take longer? Like I was just kind of like,
I know
it's Mission Impossible, man. Like time is irrelevant after a certain point.
Yeah,
because that happens in Fallout with the helicopter and him chasing him in the helicopter and him to jump.
But you know what? It's okay. I forgive it because he jumped from one plane to another and flew that plane for a moment with his foot or whatever.
Yeah, listen. I mean,
was it crazy?
was it bad? By no means, no. I think the Mission Impossible movies are great standalone movies. Like I was telling you, this movie didn't really do anything to combine like any of the prior movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really felt like I didn't need to watch any of them to kind of know what was happening.
The main thing is I think you did have to watch Mission Impossible 1, which is the most fucked up thing about it. Because of the guy in the like outpost
at the end.
Yeah.
But aside from that, they even explain how it's really done. So it's like you didn't even really need to watch it.
Too many flashbacks. But
exactly. But I mean, was it bad? No, I thought it was entertaining. It was a solid one. I watched this other movie called Last Seen Alive. It's on Netflix. It's got.
Sounds familiar.
Oh man, who is it in there? I forgot his name now. Hold on.
Sounds very familiar.
Gerard Butler. That's who it is.
Okay.
So the story behind this is him and his wife are driving. He's driving his wife to her parents' house because they're splitting up. Their marriage is on the rocks. She wants to go live with her parents for a little while, kind of get her brain right, and he's driving her there. On the drive there, they stop at a gas station, and his wife essentially gets kidnapped. That's the premise of this movie. However, it wasn't like taken because Gerard Butler's character is not like
badass
an
military
spy
man
or any shit like that. Dude is like a husband whose wife just ends up going missing, and he has like a very valid like, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna find my wife because nobody in this, like, the cops are taking too long. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Nobody's listening to me. And I'm going to find my wife. No matter if we are going through things or whatnot, I'm going to find her. And it's a good watch. Like, I think he plays the character really well. His wife is really good. I forgot what her name was. Dang, I don't even remember what her name is. But she's in stuff. She's done a lot of stuff before. But all in all, I mean, it was a solid. Jamie Alexander, that's her name.
Okay, sounds familiar.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good movie. It's on Netflix. It's nothing like super crazy to watch, but I'd give it a 6. Like, it was a solid watch. It was nothing bad. I jumped to Amazon Prime and I watched this movie called Role Play. It's got Kaylee Kuko, the girl from Big Bang.
Big Bang, yeah,
and another guy. Let me get his name because I can't remember what his name. Like, he's not well known, but I've seen him and stuff for David Aliwo. He was in Jack Reacher, the one with Tom Cruise and Cloverfield Paradox.
Okay.
It was an interesting one. He's married to this girl who he thinks is like a traveling salesperson. Then they decide, he thinks they're losing the spark in their relationship, so they decide to do the marriage thing and go into the big city to play the roles of two random people to kind of spark their interest in the night. And then come to find out his wife is an assassin who gets marked. And she then, while she's sitting at the bar, gets noticed by a different assassin who then now knows who she is. And,
okay.
Eventually it just spirals from there because she ends up killing him in the hotel where her and her husband stay at. And cops are alerted. The company that she works for is now alerted, and it just becomes a chaos.
A thing,
mess.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I give it a 6. It was a very solid watch. I think they worked really well off of each other as far as like husband and wife, and it was nice to see her. I really don't want this to sound bad. Not play a dumb blonde character. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
She did really well, and I appreciate. I think my only real gripe about this movie, and I guess it's not even a gripe, maybe it's not. You know what? No, I don't even think that. It was a solid watch. I definitely give it a 7 out of 10. It was a good thing. It wasn't anything bad. It wasn't anything crazy. I would definitely watch it again though.
Okay.
The big one I watched this week was Together. That is that Dave Franco's, movie that is now apparently
the body horror movie
getting fucking sued because apparently it's a ripoff.
Yeah, I was telling you about that.
Like,
they're getting sued because apparently there's some plagiarism or something
from somebody else. Yeah.
So I told Kyle I wanted to try and watch the movie that they say got plagiarized because I do want to see the kind of inconsistent or like the consistencies between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to try to catch it this week. I will say the movie and the story aren't bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing for this movie that really was like great and really well done was just like the visuals between them.
What's happening? Yeah.
What's happening to them? Like when there's a moment where they are connecting in the hands.
Okay.
And like you literally see their fingers molding into their arms, and as he's trying to
it's on the poster,
as he's trying to split it, like his hands essentially like start pushing out of her. Dude, it's so well done. Like the visuals in this movie, I can't even speak to it enough. The person who did the time to like put those shots together and like whatever like CGI they did, just did it so well. Like. It looks so good. Like, I went in watching it at some point and I was just like, oh, like it is just really like creepy, but not like in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like, not even like Human Centipede bad because it really wasn't. It was just like, man, that was like a really wicked shot, like how they did it.
Sure. Yeah.
So I will say I really enjoyed it. I can't, as far as like a horror movie, I don't think there's nothing really horror about it for me.
Yeah.
The story of it makes sense. Why they moved, where they're at now, how they ended up in the situation they ended up in. The ending is pretty interesting.
Okay.
And I'm not going to spoil it because I know
I'm
you're going to watch
when
it.
It's I will watch it.
The ending is super interesting, so I'm interested to see what you think of whenever you finally do watch it. I will say though, it was probably my movie of the week to watch. It was really good. Like it was just a really good overall film. So that's what I saw this week.
All right. Yeah, well, we can we kick over to the couple emails we have left here. As my microphone falls down on me. Millie from Taylor, Nebraska. Hi, guys. By now, I'm sure you've all seen Superman. My question is, have you noticed the seemingly targeted online hate campaign against this movie? It certainly was a thing when the movie was getting ready to release, but it's still going on a month later. I can't open anything on social media without seeing a post about how Man of Steel was better or how the new Superman movie is dog shit. It just seems incredible to me that of all the things we could be spending that type of energy on right now in this country, that people are still bitching about Superman movie. I saw it. I liked it. And it seems like it was successful enough because they're moving forward the DCU plan. So what do you think gives on this? Like, yeah, I've seen it. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. My thing about it is like, yeah, there are the crazy Zack Snyder fans, but like, let's be real. If this movie failed and they weren't going to go forward for whatever reason, let's say it failed. The number one thing they're not going to do is go back to what previously failed.
No.
And that's what I don't understand the energy.
You're not getting the DCEU back. Apart. That thing failed.
It's not ever coming back.
For many reasons towards the end. None of those people are interested in doing it anymore. Like, right. I don't want it back because by the end of it, it was just a shit show.
It was incredible shit show.
The crazy thing about this Superman stuff is like, it's a plot line in the movie.
Yes, there is.
Right?
Yes,
like, it's actually like a thing.
There is actually a like jokish / plotline
about how dumb monkeys are typing shit about Superman on the internet. Wow, it came true.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't get how you can certainly look back at those Snyder movies and like think I liked the direction this was going, but this is a completely different movie. And what happens with every superhero movie? They're all different from the first one. Look at this we have 3 versions of Spider-Man in the last 20 years.
And they're all different. In their own way.
But
and that's fine.
And it's fine. Like, you don't like the new Superman movie? Don't watch it. Go watch the old stuff.
Go watch Man of Steel.
Yeah, I like Man of Steel. Kyle and I have talked favorably about Man of Steel since Man of Steel came out.
a lot as well.
It's a weird Superman movie though, because at the end he kills a man. But this one, I don't think I could ever see this one doing that. And I like that because it's a different take on Superman.
He is there is a point in that movie because they go so overboard with the fact that he won't kill anybody that he saves a squirrel.
Yeah.
Like they make that a visual point in the movie to show that.
You're this upset about this Superman, you want to go back to the Snyder one? You don't want to go back to the Brandon Routh one? How about we go farther?
Nobody forget.
How about we go to the New Adventures of Superman Dean Cain TV show? Those people probably love him in real life now, so why not go watch his old TV show? Like, fuck off.
I haven't
Superman
seen that since I was a kid.
That
good.
I've never been a big Superman fan at all. Like, I think out of all the comic book characters, he's probably the worst one. But I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
I think Superman in general is a very polarizing superhero because he does seem overpowered. Like he could just fucking do all of it. So like, how is that any fun? But that's why this movie, I think, is a better version because it shows his fucking weaknesses. Like, and not just kryptonite, but like actually like trying to do what he thinks is good because he's trying to live up to his Kryptonian parents.
Really good speech at the end. Against Lex Luthor that I think is very good for this version of Superman.
For sure.
So very fitting. I don't get the hate thing. I just think it's
ridiculous.
Stupid. Every day I open, I'm just like, can we just argue about something else at this point?
There's plenty of other stupid shit, but I like
very dumb things.
I like the movie. I don't care what anybody else says.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Justine from Reno, Nevada. Hi, 572 crew. Been listening for a long time. I wanted to write in with a game recommendation. I don't think I've heard any of you guys ever talk about Triangle Strategy. It was shadow dropped on Xbox and PlayStation this week, but I originally played the game over on the Switch, and I just think it's one of the best Square Enix recent outputs between this and some of those other previously exclusive Switch games like Bravely Default 2. The story is really solid, and for a strategy game, it just kept having me come back. I figured there's no better time to recommend it now that it's on every single platform. I have it on Switch. So I bought it when it came out. I just never...
It's one of those things where I kind of just waited. But like with this announcement, I was like, yeah, I definitely want it. The first thing I did was look for a physical copy for PlayStation.
The first thing I did was I went and said, like, all right, how much is it digitally on the PlayStation Store? And it's on sale for $41, but I think that's too high.
For right now, considering the amount of other stuff... Yeah, I have it wishlisted too. But considering the amount of other stuff I'm playing, considering Final Fantasy Tactics is out in a month,
like, like
kind of
my other thing.
Strange time for Square to like shadow drop it. But I guess they can't drop it next month. But yeah, I will definitely play this at some point. I think I'll probably play Tactics first, but if this is ever 20 on the store, I'll probably just buy it and put it in the library.
Yeah, I'm at the same point there is like, yeah, I have it on Switch. I should probably play it there, but I'm sure it'll run and look better on
probably
PS5
at this point.
So I'll wait and can play it there and not open
definitely something I want to play for sure.
I do too. Yeah, like I always thought it looked like a very interesting game, especially when they're. I remember laughing when they originally announced it because it wasn't like Project Strategy or something.
Yeah,
it was originally
really
called,
name.
and then they named it Triangle Strategy, and I still think that's kind of
name.
a crazy dumb name. But
it's kind of a dumb name.
It's a very dumb name. But this is Square.
But I like their. So. I always like when Square does weird. One-shot things like that Dungeon Explorers game that came out a couple of years ago. It was super fucking weird, but it's cool.
There's the card one they did too.
The card one, which
I bought at some point. I don't know if you ever bought it.
No, I got to do that. That Neo Fantasia one. Like
I need to get that at some point as well.
Yeah, there's a ton of that stuff. I wish I had time to play all that stuff and only that stuff because I feel like that would take forever. But
I think it would.
Triangle's probably something I'll try to pick up when it's 20 and play around this time next year. Because as soon as Tactics comes out, that's probably all I'm playing for like a month.
So I was looking through Best Buy while we were doing this, and I came across this game called Farmiga.
That's been on Woot for a while for cheap.
Yeah, like I just saw it that Best Buy had it for $29.99.
It's a weird like farming Pokemon game.
Yeah.
You should check Woot because I know I've seen it on Woot every every time I check.
Okay. It's on Woot.
I'm gonna jump on Woot.
If it's on Woot, I think it's like 25.
I think there's two versions of it, and I think one of them's like 21 something. And I know I've seen it.
Okay. Next email comes from Ed from Peoria, Illinois. Hi, 572 crew. Been a long-time listener. I'm actually quite embarrassed to say I've never played a Halo game, and I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on the series recently, and it's had me really intrigued. I've been kind of holding out hope that the collection would come over to the PS5, but it doesn't appear to be. So this past weekend, I went out on Facebook Marketplace and got myself a Series X system for $200, along with several games, including the collection. You can get Series X is really decently priced on Marketplace right now.
Get out.
My question, it's
time to get in if you can get it cheap. I mean, there's no reason not to buy it if you get it cheap.
If you don't mind like not paying the premium dollar for those, which they're going to be the same on PlayStation, just with trophies.
Especially if you're getting it cheap and you can just do that and sign up for Game Pass. You have a shitload of stuff to play immediately.
You got a lot of stuff to play for a while, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. My question is, where should I even begin this? I could just start with the first Halo, but this thing also has Halo Reach as well as ODST. Is there a better order to play these in to add to that? Well, I got the collection. I did not get Halo 5 or Infinite. Are those worth playing as well? Thanks. If you want to start at like the beginning, like story wise, you could start with Reach.
Yeah, but I think Reach makes more sense if you play it after you've played.
I do kind of think
the first couple Halo games.
Yeah, so I'd like my recommendation would be like play 1 through 3, and then maybe take a break and play Reach, and then go back and play ODST. The collection has Halo 4, so you could I would do ODST before I do Halo 4.
You need to because
otherwise it's going to be jarring.
Yeah, it's that game is very much of its time, and ODST is just a glorified expansion. Like,
hey, the ODST is literally an expansion to Halo 3.
Yeah.
That's it. They sold that game when it came out with a second disc that was basically a map pack for Halo 3. Because remember, it had all those cool.
Yeah.
It had like 6 maps.
remember, that's how we first learned about Destiny. It was hidden in the game.
Yes, it was. I remember having to go back then and do all those achievements based on those maps for Halo 3. So,
but yeah, I would say 1, 2, 3. You can take a break and play Reach, and then play ODST. Because ODST is also short. It's also like 3 hours. It's short.
You can fly. I would say this,
3 hours,
especially I don't know if you're
exploring the little town.
If you're planning on playing these in co-op, which I would recommend because that's some of the most fun you'll have in these games. ODST you could beat in an afternoon.
Yeah, I think
with even just one other person. It's very short. It's not meant to be.
It's meant to be
like it's very fun.
It's meant to be like a side story to 3. Like you're kind of like
the last level. I'll say though does not hold up in 2025.
It's meant to be like you're kind of
the last time I played
experiencing the story from a different angle.
Yes.
And then Reach is good, but I don't think you'll get it if you.
I don't think you'll appreciate what's going on in Reach without playing the other ones and then going back.
Yes,
so,
it makes more sense to play later because it is basically 0.
Yeah.
But because it sets up the events of
Halo 1,
what Master Chief is going to do.
Yeah.
So, but if you play that first, you don't really have the context for.
No,
it's just it's not the first game you should play. Also, it would be jarring if you played that first and then went to.
I do think it would be a little bit jarring for sure.
To play a little bit different.
And then you play Halo 1 and it's like, wow,
Reach is a little faster.
As far as 5 and Infinite go, like 5, as someone who. I didn't care for it when it came out. I did try to go back recently and play through the campaign cooperatively. I don't even think we got through the first level where I was just like, I just don't feel that game. You could probably skip that.
1 through 4 feel like a series of games.
They do.
5 is when we start to get into this like weird stuff we really haven't talked about before, but you're supposed to know
This is around the time when Bungie left and they went off to do Destiny. So Microsoft created 343 Studios, and their dumb decision was, hey, we'll start these stories, but then we'll finish them in books.
Right.
And they do that a lot. They do that for Halo 4. They do that for Halo 5. They've done that for Infinite. I don't know if you know that, but they did that for Infinite Story as well. But if I were to look at both, like you could play 5, but I don't think you're going to get much out of it. I would say skip it and just go to Infinite. Especially now, like Infinite has a fully playable cooperative campaign now. And it's in a much better place than it was when it launched. And that campaign is actually very good.
I would argue against that because if you're so deep in, you've played 1 through 4, Reach and ODST, just fucking play 5 and go straight through it and don't give a shit about it. Like, just kind of take it for what it is and move on. But like,
fair.
I like 4 a lot. I know.
Of all the 343 stuff, that is the best thing.
It's the one to me. It was the most one that felt the most like 1. Because 1 is my. It's weird, but 1 is still my favorite one. 2 is really good.
3 is my favorite,
2 is really good too. But I still like 1 the most. That's why I would love to see like if they really remade that game. But
I don't know, man.
I don't.
Because I just don't think that they can do it the way that we would want.
Well, because the problem is I think you'd have to remake it. Like it's not like you'd have to like start over. And even at that point, they're going to change it too much to the point where I'd rather just play the MCC.
I think there's enough of me that is skeptic there that goes, they're going to go too far into changing what it is. And I think that's going to be, we're going to find out in October what it is. So, but I don't have a lot of faith now in 343, now Halo Studios, as they've been rebranded. So, but yeah, I would say that's the order to play those in for sure. And just, I mean, they're all, even with the shortcomings of some of them, they're all very, very enjoyable games to their different degrees. I would say It is, and if you're going to play through those games and play them cooperative, and you're somebody that likes a challenge, like Legendary is fun to do, but Halo 2 on Legendary is a terrible time. That is the one that is very, very not fun on Legendary. The rest of them, not too bad, but 2 is a real rough game. So, our final email comes to us from Michael from Greensboro, Kentucky. Howdy, guys. I enjoyed you guys talking off the cuff about your days at GameStop last episode. Do you guys have any good stories from those years about annoying customers?
We've had so many. We've talked about them before, but it's always fun to talk about them again. Three options is a classic. I'm trying to think of other ones.
I wouldn't say that the one that came to mind, and it's not, I would not call this person an annoying customer. I don't know why this one always sticks out in my head. And you're going to laugh when I say his nickname, but Satan's Eyebrow.
Oh, God.
And the reason why I remember is because the day that he drove to the store with the open liquor.
So he came, here's why. Roll back. So he came to the store because he had an Xbox One that, like, his dog had tripped over the power cord and, like, knocked it over and like it like popped open. And he brought it in to see if there was anything like we could do. So let's paint a picture of what this guy was like.
Okay, so the reason why he's called Satan's Eyebrow is because he had 666 tattooed above one of his eyebrows.
Yeah, and he was probably like mid to late 40s. He rode a motorcycle everywhere. He was just totally like a how do we like?
He was fine. But here's
the thing. Here's the thing, though. Like, so he was like a biker dude, and he was kind of a dick, and whatever. He was totally chill with us. Like, we were always perfectly fine with this guy. When we plugged in his Xbox to kind of see like if it worked or whatever. Remember, his Xbox Live profile was the true Dr. Satan. Yes. So we loved this guy, but like he would always ride his motorcycle in. He would always smell like alcohol. And one time specifically, I don't know if it was this time, it might have been a different one. Because this time he had his Xbox, so I don't know if he could have had his cup with him. But he came into the store with this cup, and just think like a normal like drinking cup. But there's a restaurant in town that is famous for like Mai Tais and rum barrels and all this kind of stuff. And it was clearly like a cup from there, just fucking half full of a rum, I think a rum barrel.
Of a rum barrel.
And it just smelled like it, and it was just like he smelled like it. This dude's riding a motorcycle with no helmet. And we were like, this guy's going to get fucking painted all over the street. Because the street out in front of the store wasn't, it was busy, but it was like, so like, it wasn't not without people driving like assholes on it. It was just crazy. No. Like this guy, you would never think he was a nice guy. One of the nicest guys we had because he was chill. Yeah, he had, like when this 100%. Dog busted his Xbox, I remember we kind of like snapped it back together and we just kind of like tested it and all this kind of stuff. We're like, yeah, we kind of got it working again, but it's probably like you're probably
want a new one.
So he was a cool guy. Yeah, he wasn't annoying, but that guy was just that's one guy that always stands out.
I don't know why that guy, he's stuck in my head though.
I'm trying to think of other annoying people. There was one guy. Three options was terrible. We'll go over him real quick. He was just like a local guy who like kind of lived in a motel.
I was gonna say he lived. So there's a couple things that you need to roll back with him. He lived in the motel across like the way that our store was at, where it was at the time. It's gone now. Is we were in a strip center that was already a dead strip center. It used to be next to a Walmart that had moved years prior.
A long time ago.
So and then eventually they bulldozed those down while we were there. But we had a insanely long parking lot because all that stuff used to be there. Mm-hmm. On the other side of that long parking lot, in midst of like some of these other corporate buildings, and there's a McDonald's and
Buffalo
stuff,
Wild
was like a Motel 6. Mm-hmm. And that where this guy resided for a while, he definitely had a hygiene problem, so he smelled.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, he ended up getting a girlfriend of some sort, married. And it would get to the point. I think they did get married. You're right, but it would come to the point where they would come in, and whatever money they had scrounged up from the week doing who knows what at the time.
We're talking quarters.
We're talking quarters. We're talking like maybe dollar bills. They would literally stand in the store and they would argue as a couple. Well, should we get these games or should we eat today?
Or do laundry?
Good Lord.
And I'll tell you right now, they never chose do laundry.
No, that's the one thing that was never
on the table. But he was the kind of guy. He was the kind of customer who we've talked about this a lot too, but like obviously we open new games to put them on the shelf. If we don't, people would steal them. So your options as customers are either you can look at a game case or you can never look at a game case. And like it was a necessary evil at the store. We didn't like doing it either, but at the same time I also don't really give a fuck. So but this guy would complain every single time. Like to the point where if the game he wanted to buy was a gut copy, because he wouldn't buy used games. But if the game he wanted to buy was a gut copy, I would just tell him it's gutted. You're not going to want it. I can't believe you guys do this. Why doesn't you would sit there and try to come up with ideas like, why doesn't your company do this? It's like, I don't know, man. You live in a motel. Like,
I do think you went into paint on it once with him of like, do you realize how much money it would cost his company if we printed up box art for every single one of these games? He wanted us to immediately stop what we were doing, put everything back, and print box art for everything. He thought we could do that on site. Yes.
Just print box art for everything. It's like, man, you want to know how? Wow. And this at a time when GameStop was successful. They probably had 4,500 stores. Like, they're not going to do that easily. Because guess what? They can open a copy of a game and put it on a shelf.
For sure.
Now, when they wanted me to got 4, 5, 6 copies of stuff, I wouldn't do that. But
no,
I never saw the inherent evil of opening one copy of something, unless it was like the only copy of something we got. And for a while,
we would wait a day.
If it was like the one copy of something we got, we'd put it behind the counter for like 2-3 days, just in case somebody would come in to buy. Because there's always a lot of games. There's always one person who'd be like, "You have X game that no one would ever reserve." Yeah, we have one. But he was terrible because it was just every time it was a fight, and then he would come in and he would trade in stuff like DS games without cases or Switch games without cases. So
all the time.
So yeah, he would the same kind of customer who would like mean that I have to do this is the guy who's complaining about it. He just and it was like multiple times a week. It was the worst part is because of where he lived and where the parking lot was, you could see him coming. Seemed like
that was the worst part is like, especially if it was like the dog days of summer where it was dead and we were standing there in the afternoon and then you just see like the silhouette.
The shadow.
It's like, oh fuck, who's gonna deal with him today?
Yeah, whoever saw him first would generally like leave.
Yeah, then somebody else would go in the back. Like, I'm not doing this right now. He was pretty bad. You would have the people that you definitely have the people that would be looking for like I'm thinking of one family in particular. We won't use names, but remember they were very hard about the collector's editions of Call of Duty. You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't really, to be fair, they didn't really come to our store.
No.
Usually they would go to the other ones.
They really didn't come to us.
We had to deal with them 1 year, and that was because a specific manager at the other store sent them
basically
to our store to reserve something.
Yeah.
And every year without fail, what the thing was is they would get whatever the collector's edition was. Like, remember 1 year it was an RC car, 1 year it was, whatever the
night
thing
vision
was.
Goggles.
That thing would always be fucking broken
because
somehow.
he would break it.
Yes, and then they would be immediately back complaining about how they need to get a replacement.
Every time they would bring that to me, I'd be like, you need
to
contact Activision. I remember one time they came to me with the RC car, and I think this is when I was working at the first store I worked at, and they were like, it doesn't work. Well, the batteries and blah, blah, blah. And I remember like flipping it over and the kid had like stripped the screw. And I told him, I was like, you stripped the screw. No, I didn't. I said, it didn't come from the factory like this. You have an issue with this, you need to contact Activision. They were terrible. They would reserve, cancel, move it, reserve, cancel, move it, reserve, cancel, move it. Absolute fucking nightmare people. And you want to talk about people who didn't shower? The mom. Terrible, terrible woman. Just nobody ever wanted to deal with her ever.
Awful.
Who else do we got? There's one type of customer, and there's one guy in specific. He would come in every so often, who would every fucking time without fail would ask me to recommend him a game on PS3 or PS4.
Oh, those,
and it would be like, and because I know you. We already went through this conversation last time for 20 minutes and he didn't buy anything. Like, it's every time. And because it would be the thing where it's like, what kind of games do you play? Well, I play Skyrim, and Skyrim's like the only game I play. Then you try to go through those. I played that. I hate it. I played that. I hate it. He hated everything else.
It's like
it literally got to a point where I told him, "I guess you're done," and he thought it was a joke. And it's like, I'm not joking. If you're like, there is nothing. If I can recommend you 20 things and you've hated all of them, you're done playing video games. It's over. Yeah. They've decided you're not a customer anymore and they don't want you.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Fucking awful.
I remember the one guy, and he come into our store too. And I only bring this up because of because of the funny story that goes along with it. But he'd come in, and he was one of those two that would talk to you a little bit too much. You'd have those. Mm-hmm. The typical customer come in, like think that they're your buddy.
Some of them are fine. Some of them aren't.
Some of them are not. This one in particular, and the reason I bring it up, I don't think we've told the story on the podcast. We had a group of friends that not only worked at our store, but worked at other stores. My best friend and he worked at a different store. We decided to go. I want to say the movie was the 4th Transformers movie. I think it was the 4th one. And we went. It was like me, my buddy who worked at a different store, and then another person that worked at our store. And we're in the parking lot of the theater, and we're getting out. And that particular customer, who went to both of our stores, by the way, happened to show up at that theater. And this was right when they started doing the assigned seatings at theaters, where like you buy a ticket. You know how it is now. You buy a ticket, you sit in the seat. This is when that first started happening. And that's important to this story. This fucking guy immediately noticed us, walked up, was like, "Oh, hey guys, how's it going?" And not only did he tag along for the entire movie, he sat next to us. He did not buy the ticket to sit in that seat. Dang. I guarantee you bought a ticket somewhere else, but he walked in, he sat next to my friend and sat and watched that entire 3 fucking hour movie, sitting next to my friend who did not like him more than I did him. And then I had to hear at the end of just this is the worst fucking thing that's ever happened to me. At the end.
He still talks about
how did this guy sit? Yeah. That happened 15 years ago. We still laugh about it to this day. That was a bad one. But honestly, I don't feel like we got recognized outside of GameStop in our local area very often.
Rare.
So.
There were some times I remember when I worked at the store before ours, the one of our customers was the girl who worked the Taco Bell drive-through fucking every night I went through, but she was cool, so that was fine. If I ever saw someone outside a thing, I would look away. I would walk away. I don't want to get into a conversation with you at all. We're not. Yeah. This is a job. I'm not your friend. I don't give a shit. And if I talk to you in public, I may say something I regret. In which case, somehow you'll get me in trouble for that, even though we were outside of work. But I mean, the thing is too is there's a lot of people we hated. People are just assholes. People who don't understand what trading is or return policies. People who just fucking go off. The scammers who it's I want to buy a new PlayStation and a new Xbox and a new Switch. I'm going to use this card. This card feels fake. It feels like it's made out of cardboard. Well, you're not going to bring them out here so I can. No, man, we keep those in the back and ring them up. This card didn't go through. I'm going to go get my new card out of my car. Then it disappeared.
Those are always my favorite.
You.
I got to go.
Then we call the other stores
some funds around.
Hey, heads up. These 3 people are coming. They're going to do it.
Yeah, we get those calls and we
scammers,
make those calls
thieves. All the time.
We ever got hit with anything like thievery? It was usually controllers, and that's why we stopped putting some of that stuff on the floor.
And then I get yelled at. Why aren't these out there? Because they were stolen last time. You need to put them out there. No, I don't. They can be behind the counter.
So they get stolen?
Because a lot of times people are looking for a controller. You know what they do? They come in the store and they go up to the counter and say, "Hey, I'm looking for a controller." They don't look around for one. They're all behind the counter. The problem with that place, 10 years ago when we were there, is it was still very much we're corporate, we know better. And none of them fucking knew a thing about anything at all.
No.
DMs don't know how to fucking work in a store. Regional's even worse. I would have killed.
Ours would threaten every time, I can log in at any time and do this, and then the minute we get busy, I gotta get
Our LP guy tried to help somebody once, and I had to fucking tell him to go away.
I remember that.
What was his name? Kevin. Kevin, like he was trying to help somebody, and I was like, it was me, the DM, and him, and I saw him was hard to help somebody, and this guy was a big, stupid asshole who luckily I could manage because Kyle knows, like, one of my best skills at like retail and everything, I can bullshit anybody about anything, especially my boss. So that's why I had my job for as long as I did, is because I know exactly what they want to hear and how to say it. But the LP guy, luckily I was on good terms with him, but I had to basically tell him, like, Kevin, go away, kind of a thing, and he'd walk off. But like, God, that was almost a nightmare. Like, that's some of the biggest problem customers were fucking management. How about that? I'm trying to think of what's one banger one we can end on. Oh, how about, I can't say his name. Can I say it? Can I say the fisherman? Will that work?
Yes, yes, you can.
Okay.
You can say that.
Okay.
You can say that. I kind of forgot about that.
The fucker
kid.
to end all fuckers. All right.
Should we paint the picture of the family though?
It's really mostly him and his mom were the problems. His dad was like, you ever picture like a couple where like the mom's a huge, like, just awful person, and the dad is so meek you can tell he never says a word in his house? That's this family. He would come in anytime he would see him, he would just stand at the end of the counter, like lean on it, and he wouldn't say a word. But so this kid had to be like, I mean, it started when he was probably 10 or 11, because I dealt with him before.
Yes.
I dealt with him so much that when we got caller ID, it was a godsend, because I would just pick up the phone and hang it up and put it back down, and he would try to call like 6-7 times in a row.
Every time they would call, I'd be like, nope, we're not answering.
Don't answer it. Mute. And then they would come and be like, not answer your phone. We were busy. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. This kid's a grade A fucker. Liar, thief, manipulative to his parents. Like, it was just crazy. He would do something bad and blame us, and then tell his mom, and his mom would tell on us.
Should we?
We'll do it. We'll do
the
big one.
disc?
We'll do the big one. So one day, I got a phone call from the DM, and it was and he's like, "This is a serious thing."
It was a Sunday. That's why
it's a serious thing. So I was like, "Okay." So I went in the back and I took the phone call. Well, customers saying that they bought this game and there was a porno disc in it, and I'm like, "What?" Like, in the case, it was the game and a porno disc in it. And I said,
it was hidden behind the instructions.
Yeah, whatever. Manual. It was in the case. And I was like, I struggled to see how that could happen, but maybe it could have. So then he starts giving me information, and it turns out to be this kid. And I flat out told him, I said, there's no way. There's no way this kid did this. Because what's more likely? Because I knew who took it in, and it's just not going to happen. And even if you don't open the box, anybody who's ever held a video game case, if there's a loose disc inside of it, if you pick it up, it bounces and rattles around. Doesn't matter how tight it's in there. We
even reviewed, because we reviewed the footage, and like you could clearly see on the footage, like the game was. No, but I'm saying on our end, like whenever it was taken in or like given to him, like we always check the case too.
Yeah, I always make sure stuff is in it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And like there was no disc of any kind.
But so
of that,
he was trying to claim that we sold him this game with it in there, and that his mom found it. And when she confronted him about it, he told her we did it. And I tried to tell my DM up and down. I said, "There's no way. What is more likely? Someone who processes hundreds of games a week somehow gave this kid a porno disc, who happens to be a known problem customer, or a 13-year-old kid, because he was probably 13 or something at the time, got caught with a porno disc and tried to hide it from his mom, and she found it, because it wasn't even like one that you would like buy, right? Remember,
no,
it was like if you went to like a shitty
pulled it out of a magazine at a
shitty convenience store, like those ones they used to pack in there. It was like, what's more likely? And I'm like looking up the guy who traded in. It's like a 27-year-old guy who was trading in. He was just a normal guy. It's like, hey man, adult men don't hide porno discs in the instruction booklet of a PS3 case.
Even at that time,
no. You're an adult. No. Fuck that. So we went through this whole process where I told him, I was like, "There's no way. This didn't happen." Oh, he's like, "It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We have to make it right." And I said, "What does that even mean?" He made us.
How do I make it right?
He made us give them a used 360
Well, so they had a dollar amount, so they had to come in and they basically had to sign like a waiver that they wouldn't sue us or whatever the thing
they wouldn't
was,
report it
and they were given, I think, 500.
No,
credit?
it wasn't that much because it was
Wasn't
like a
much? Maybe
360 and a couple games and like another controller or whatever. So we'd ring all this through for zero. I got yelled at, but nothing ever. I didn't get written up or anything for it because like A, I wasn't even there, but B, it's like I told him up and down like this didn't happen. So whatever. Fine, here's your shit. Go away. Like, just stay away. Don't ever come back. I used to tell Kyle that if this kid got hit by a bus, I'd feel bad for the bus.
Yeah,
so,
he was awful.
He was just a terrible shit little kid who I hated.
Well, the worst part too is like, so that stuff is given or whatever, and it was like a 360 some games and
all
stuff,
for free.
Whatever. They came back a week later to trade it all in, and then the kid complained to me that he could get more at the pawn shop.
Yeah, this kid was obsessed with doing the pawn shops.
Like, yeah, it's like, how do you're 13?
How do you know how they work?
Know what a pawn shop is and how that works?
So he came in.
There was an older brother that would come in, and he always had chocolate on his shirts. And like
chocolate.
Yeah, like that was pretty awful. Like I said, the dad, he was also pretty awful. He just was clearly like the defeated dad that just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Literally, they came in a week later and traded this shit in and got credit and bought a PS3 because this was another thing they would do all the time. They would buy an Xbox. Traded for PS3 to buy an Xbox.
How many times did that guy buy an Xbox One and trade it in for a PS4
Probably
and then vice
5
versa?
or 6 times.
Yes.
The kid was insufferable. So then after he trades all this shit in, he does this stuff. I called my DM. I said, "Guess what? Your buddy with the," because I was pissed. I called him. I said, "Guess what? Your buddy who you gave all the free shit to, he just traded it in for credit." And he was like,
because
what?
That came out of our stores, like money
and he was like,
what?
And I said, yeah, because the whole thing was a scam. The whole thing, everything you've ever listened to or believed from these people was just so they could manipulate you into getting more stuff. And that finally like alerted him that maybe they're not on the up and up because they just got a whole bunch of free stuff they traded for credit. But like, it was just like people like that. God, and then you wanted the best part about that kid? He applied to work there.
Oh, I can't remember.
Can you imagine a world where he gets hired? How much is stolen the first day?
Right.
Hundreds.
Right.
Cash and game. Like there's very few people at that store I really wish would die. And yes, a teenage kid was one of them.
Yes. No, that kid, he was
absolutely
eventually awful. I think as we got later into it, like before we left, he ended up like visiting the other store more frequently than ours, thankfully.
Burger King or something, and it was Wendy's.
Because my buddy would go to that Wendy's all the time. It's gone now. And then he went one night and it was like that kid was working the drive-thru and he's like, I'm fucking out of this. Like I'm not going back. So
we'll end on that banger.
We'll end on that.
I'm trying to think. One other one came to my head, but we'll save it for another time. But yeah, that kid fair. By far one of the worst. Fuck that kid.
One of the worst. Absolutely. But yeah, as always, send your emails and game recommendations into podcast572@gmail.com. Otherwise, we'll be back in another 2 weeks for another edition of the podcast. Thank you for listening or watching.
Thank you, everyone.
Stay safe.